Well, hello everybody, and a very warm welcome to Trent Bridge Live in association with Daffabet. And remember, 18 plus, gambleaware.org. Well, the sun is shining here, and we've had a fantastic game earlier on. The Blaze beat Yorkshire women by 4 wickets, and now it's the men's turn. Yes, Yorkshire men are in town. The toss has taken place between Joe Clark and Johnny Bairstow, the 2 captains, and it was Johnny Bairstow that won that toss, and he has said we will have a bowl. So let's take a look at both 11s for you. Now for Nottinghamshire, well, they're not Outlaws, we should really say. 4 new people are playing for Notts Outlaws today. Yes, they received their caps earlier on in the team huddle. They are, of course, George Munsey, Benny Howell, Joe Pocklington, and of course Mohammed Ali. Now, George Munsey and Mo, well, they've just flew in today, so they are raring to go today. And then from Yorkshire point of view, new signing Moeen Ali, very experienced. Johnny Bairstow behind the stumps and captaining the Yorkshire men this evening as well. But just to reiterate, they won the toss and they have said we will have a bowl. Now, just by me, Lyndon James, Chris Marshall. Chris, do you want to have a quick word? No, he's absolutely done me. Fair enough, no. Okay, fair enough. Well, one person that we did have a chat with, new for this T20 season, we're going to speak to some of the Outlaws squad in a bit more in depth. And first up, well, he got voted T20 Player of the Season for Notts yesterday. He was the highest run scorer in last year's campaign. That was Tom Moores. Here is a little snippet of that interview. December 2016 you signed your first contract with Nottinghamshire, so you're coming up to 10 years with the club. Do you think back then, did you see yourself still being at this club 10 years later?
For me, I think you obviously, of course, you want to have longevity somewhere, but yeah, looking back, I think there's been some unbelievable highs and some pretty low lows as well, but I think it's all been part of an amazing journey, and I'm still like to think I'm still relatively young, so hopefully still, only halfway through hopefully, but it's been a pretty special journey so far, and hopefully long may it continue. And the way the club's trending at the minute, it bodes for an exciting future if we keep pushing where we're going and what we're doing in the first team and the Red Bull stuff, and hopefully bring some of that into the White Ball stuff.
So I'm guessing the highs would be your trophy wins. What would you say the lows were, though?
I'd say probably a couple of years back, in the T20, I think we finished near the bottom of the table, which for us, after coming off those highs, off those winning those trophies, there, we were in a transitional phase, I guess. During my time when I was playing Red Bull, there was a few low times, and playing that where we weren't top of the table as we are now, and off the back of winning a championship, we weren't where we wanted to be. But again, after a sort of transitional period, I think we're back where we want to be now. So I think, looking back at it from sort of a wider lens now, is you just sort of you understand actually that clubs and teams have to go through. Players can't play forever, and as much as we'd like them to, I think we do have to let go of them at some point, and like we said, those young, talented, raw, which was me back in 2017 or whatever it was. They have to step in at some point, and the give back can be inconsistent at times, and it sort of reflects, I guess, in what we see on the pitch. But I think what this club has done so well is stayed patient and invested in the right people, and I think now we're seeing and reaping the rewards on the pitch. We can see with the championship side that have done that, won the championship last year, and then set off this year and top of the table.
You changed to a white ball contract. That was a couple of years ago. What do you think the benefit of that decision has resulted in?
Yeah, it was definitely a tough decision, because I love playing red ball cricket for Nottinghamshire, and for me it wasn't something that I've necessarily viewed as retirement. I kind of viewed it, if I'm speaking candidly, I guess I viewed it a bit like a business, if you like. You've got the way the game is now, there's kind of two. You've got your white ball cricket and red ball cricket, and they're both very different skill sets. We can see that, you know, across the world of the sport. Ultimately, the way the white ball game's growing is it's demanding more and more power and speed, and, you know, obviously you've got the 4-day stuff, which is more of a mental challenge, and can you stay in one mode and one rhythm and one mindset for a whole day with the bat, or with the ball, the same thing. So the goal for me ultimately boiled down to trying to play as high a level as I can in this sport. And I basically analysed where I was in my game, and I thought, well, the white ball is where my stock is got the highest ceiling, in my opinion. Made that call, and then, yeah, I mean, obviously, immediate return on decision was a great one. I had probably my best ever last year, managed to go and play, you know, franchise around the world, which was amazing in the winter. This was the right decision.
Well, we spoke about your batting, but obviously wicket keeping. You always get the captain talking to the wicket keeper. So, you know, Joe Clark would always come up to you anyway as a wicket keeper. But do you feel like your role has potentially even developed and progressed more into that, I'm not saying a definite vice captain, but that role of being able to offer advice?
Yeah, you're right. We don't really have necessarily vice captains here. We've never sort of been a thing we've done. But I think you know, the keeper naturally takes that role on anyway. I think, you know, whether you call it the captain of the fielding team or whatever, people have different ways of perming it. But I think the fact that me and Joe are good mates as well, and there's a lot of trust there. So I think he trusts my opinion, which is key. And also, what I want to sort of be to him is just I'm there for a sounding board, and that's kind of really, yeah, I think it's been nice. It's a nice relationship and dynamic we've got, and I quite enjoy it as well. I enjoy being able to read the game from behind the stumps. You get a good view, obviously. That's what they say. That's the keeper gets the best view, your best seat in the house.
What are you looking forward to over the next few weeks?
It's an amazing time of year. Crowds are going mental, sixes, fours, fireworks. So I think all of that stuff it's the time for fun, really. I think when it comes down to the serious stuff on the pitch, which is what people want to see, is people want to see us win. And hopefully, yeah, we can go out and, you know, make the crowd, you know, happy and entertained, and all those kids that come and watch, and inspire them to want to be out there one day themselves. You know, ultimately that's what, you know, that's where it started for me, or all of the other lads, I'd imagine, is, you know, they're watching what hopefully makes them want to go, I want to be out there doing that one day. That's you know, that looks like great fun and stuff like that. So I think that's over the next few weeks, is hopefully the weather, which it looks like it's going to be good, you know, is good to us, and yeah, enjoy seeing Trent Bridge full again.
So a little snippet there from that interview. You will be able to watch the whole interview on the Trent Bridge social media channels from next week, so keep an eye out for that. But I've got the one and only Paul Franks with me, assistant head coach for Notts Outlaws. Sun is shining, first game of a new T20 campaign. How are the boys feeling?
Yeah, good, mate. No better day for it. You need no motivation for tonight. The sun's shining. Feels like the first day of summer, doesn't it? We've had a cold spring, if you like, and it's been inconsistent weather-wise, but Trent Bridge on a night like tonight, there's no better place to be.
4 players making their debut in this competition for the Outlaws. What will they bring to the 11 tonight, but also just the squad in general?
Yeah, skill. You know, we sign people on skill. It's you know, T20 is a skill-based game. We've already got some excellent players. We're looking to supplement with skill always. They're excited to be here, and we're excited to have them. They've all gone on their own journey to get to this point, and we certainly hope it's going to add to our team for this season.
Joe and Ben coming out first, obviously. We lost the toss, we're going to bat first. Do you think they'll be looking at a target, or is it about getting out there and just seeing how the game goes? Yeah,
look, we'll look to be aggressive. That's the only way to play this game. They're both very experienced players in this format. It should be exciting, and we certainly want to try and throw the first punch, get on the front foot and try and dominate the power play. That's how they'll try and play. We wouldn't have it any other way.
Well, thank you for chatting. I'll let you get going, mate, all right? And here's to a good day for the Outlaws. I like that, thumbs up. Have you ever seen Josh Tong and Lyndon James bowl balls at a car to break windows? No, you haven't? Well, you have now.
Ready?
Good luck, mate.
Don't ever go seam up or cross it.
Tough window. Is this a tank or a Clio? It is glass.
Oh my God.
Oh, sit. Can we have our ball back, please? Banger! I'm in real trouble. God.
It's well bowled.
Silence dead of night, leather studs and a wired up soul. Plug into the chaos, lose control. Mostly crew in the subway static. Roaring loud, yeah, fully automatic. Trash the script, we rewrite the show. Drop blood to pump electro.
In a lot of trouble.
Oh yeah. 50-30, yeah.
Poor wing mirror. Vamos, spin around.
Back in the game.
Not having that. Absolutely not having that.
Hit hard like we just don't care. Shock in the veins, we were born to ignite. Break the silence.
Well,
Rubbish.
gone over.
See that blue thing?
That's got to count.
Congratulations to Josh Tong there, winning by 20 points, but I think Lyndon was saving himself for tonight and hopefully he can get a few wickets later on. But we are literally moments away. Ben Duckett, Joe Clark, I can see him on the balcony. Last time out last year, Yorkshire won by 9 runs in this fixture. Can the Outlaws make it 2 from 2? The Blaze won earlier on, it's now the Outlaws' time. We are nearly ready for live T20 action here on Trent Bridge Live. Come on, you Outlaws.
Good evening, Adam. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to a sun-drenched Trent Bridge. It really is absolutely glorious at the moment. I've sat here and shivered my way through the games in April and May, just waiting for days like this, and wouldn't you just know it, you get a bit of sunshine, you get the return of the T20, and you get the cricketing crowds. They're here in their droves inside Trent Bridge just to see if the Outlaws can start their campaign with a win against a side that over the years they were generally regarded as one of the sides that Notts would fancy themselves picking up the points whenever they came here. I think it was 6 years in a row that Yorkshire were beaten here, but it's all turned round in the last year or two. Yorkshire were strong winners here last year, and at the start of a new campaign, both sides will be hoping this could be their year. The fireworks going off, that's a clear indication that the players are on their way out to the medal. I should tell you that Yorkshire have won the toss and have put Notts into bat. Nottinghamshire have a number of debutants. George Munsey, the Scottish international, he plays his first game for Notts. Benny Howell is also signed. I wonder how many thousands of pounds that was. That's just gone up in smoke, quite literally, being set off from the by the looks of it, the roof of the giant screen. Thank you. Perhaps hear myself. Muhammad Ali, the Pakistan international, is here as one of the overseas players. George Lind, the South African, hasn't arrived, and Joe Pocklington, the former Lincolnshire spinner who we saw a little bit of in the Metrobank 50 over competition. They're all in the side, and also Ben Duckett plays what we think will probably be his only game in the competition, so good to see him. You've already heard from Adam that we've got Kyle van Vollenhoven with us. I'll try and stop these two, as it's a Friday night, talking about rugby league, because that's, I'm sure, where they'd rather be at this time. Without any further ado, to say a very warm Trent Bridge welcome back here to Jonathan Doidge. Good to see you, fellow. How are you?
Yeah, good to be back. Thanks, Brace. Yep. As you mentioned, certainly the hosts have had the wood over Yorkshire for the most part in fixtures here. Yorkshire have only won 6 times on the ground, in fact, but as you mentioned, recent upturning fortunes, they've won 2 of the last 3 here at Trent Bridge, so we shall see. It certainly wouldn't be Yorkshire's strongest T20 lineup that they'll have in this campaign, because Hassan Ali and Fahim Ashraf are still unavailable for this evening's match. But Moeen Ali, of course, out of retirement to play for Yorkshire for the first time this evening. AJ Tai also makes his debut, but he's not going to be first with ball in hand, because at this Radcliffe Road end it is George Hill. Have you worked out the average age of your side? I think it's about 72, something like that.
There's one or two fellas we've seen many times over the years.
So here is George Hill. Ooh. An inside edge down to fine leg first up by Joe Clark, gets Nottinghamshire underway.
First airing of certainly the Notts new kit, all green this year as it was last year, but the problem last year with the all dark green, almost camouflage, was that we had gold names and numbers, and unless you were stood about a yard away from the players you couldn't see them. They're white this year, so a little easier. I presume it's a new Yorkshire one to be sold in the shop as well.
It looks like it, yeah. I think it was lighter blue last year, but they all kind of merge into one, don't they, over the years?
They're all the same in the end.
Yeah, ultimately. So Hill to bowl to Ben Duckett. This will be a real challenge for George, who's been bowling really well in Championship cricket. 22 wickets at 22 in that format. See how we go here. Turned into the leg side by Ben first up, and Jaffa Chauhan round to field. 1 run.
Don't know about you, Brace, but it's good to see Duckett back in Outlaws kit. We don't often get to see him that much anymore. He just makes a massive difference at the top of the order. We've said for now a couple of years since we got knocked out in the T20 quarter-final against Somerset that we've just missed that firepower up front that I'm sure Duckett and Clark will be happy to show us.
Hill again, and Clark getting into this one and striking it firmly, but straight to Will Luxton out there in the covers. Bumped into Will before the match. He opened quite a bit last year with Johnny Bairstow, most notably when he got a big score in the 90s at Old Trafford. Johnny got a ton that night in a rare win for Yorkshire in a Roses match at Old Trafford in this format. But anyway, Will tells me he's not opening tonight. That honour is going to go with Adam Lyth and Johnny, and he's going to be in at 3. as George Hill bowls again. That one nipping in on Clark. He defends it. Beautiful day, fellas, isn't it? Beautiful day.
Absolutely glorious.
This is cricket weather.
First time this season, really.
Yeah, and we've got the two most chilled out stewards I think I've ever seen. I don't know if any of our cameras can pick up the two over in front of the William Clark stand, just sat having a chat down there on the chairs. Absolutely chilled out.
As George Hill shimmies his way in once again, and tempted scoop by Clark, not so far from cleaning him up really. He's gone a long way across and missed out. Johnny Bairstow also fumbled. Do you remember down here in the Championship game last year when Johnny took the gloves and pads off
and had a bowl?
I remember that going all over socials.
Yeah.
We saw Harry Brook have a bowl the other day, didn't we?
We sure did.
Crikey.
As Hill comes in again, bowled him. This time he has got one through, and middle stump poleaxed at Trent Bridge. Joe Clark has gone in the first over, and Nottinghamshire 2 for 1.
We thought the ball before Joe Clark was lucky to get away with not being castled. This is an absolute seed. He's given himself a little bit of room. It's straightened off the wicket, and middle stump has been removed. It is halfway back, all the way at the keeper, and not after one of the worst possible starts. They're 2 for 1.
Yeah, one of their big guns, their skipper indeed, and it is middle stump as well. He's almost inherited that from Asiba Mead. The Notts County Championship skipper has been bowled 6 times this season, regular followers would be aware, and it's just sort of dragged over into Clark. I'm really expecting him to go big tonight. I'm sure he'll have a decent tournament. He's been in great form in the County Championship. 2 tons, 3 90s, an 80 and a 60. Been in glorious form in the County Championship, but misses out tonight. He's gone for just 1, so Yorkshire with the early honours, 2 for 1 at the end of the first. Here's George Munsey, the Scottish international. Wednesday he was playing in Nepal for Scotland, so he's had a busy few hours. He's managed to get in the country. We think there's 1 or 2 that perhaps haven't. Perhaps they're lined up at customs having their dabs taken. I had a little bit of that 3 or 4 weeks ago in Nottinghamshire's bye week. 2 for 1. It's going to be AJ Tye to bowl his first ball of the match. This is eased into the offside by Duckett. Has he played for Yorkshire before?
Sorry,
AJ Tye?
No, he hasn't. No, that was his first delivery for Yorkshire.
Yeah, I'll just take that bit of commentary back then if we can rewind. So here's AJ Tye bowling his first ball for Yorkshire.
No, my apologies. I was just making notes.
I didn't think he had. Played for Gloucestershire, didn't he, for a while?
Yep.
Aussie, of course. He's in again. Bowl short, pulled away by Duckett for 4. Doesn't even bother running. That one will have felt nicely as he smacked it out of the middle of the back through mid-wicket for 4. Ever hit one like that before, Carr?
A few times. Surprise, I think I'm about 1.5 centimetres taller than Ben, so we don't get many pitched up in my half, so off the short ball, used to that, but that's an absolute cracking shot, even off the front foot. That I've never done. Always off the back foot, rushed. It's a lovely shot, Ben Duckett.
Moeen Ali inside the circle, sort of a leg slip or a short fine. This one is run away by Duckett down to deep backward on the offside. Single taken. Tell you what, they're continuing to come in here and try and find seats and what have you. This is a throwback to a few years ago when Notts were sort of regularly up towards the sharp end of the North Group. Of course, this time round there's a little bit of a change around. Instead of the 2 groups of 9 where initially you played everybody twice, didn't you? There were 16 matches. They felt that was too long. Then it ended up 14 matches. This was Munsey, and he's away. First ball he's faced as an outlaw, and he's got this through the leg side for 4. Stockily built, or certainly having a chat there with Ben Duckett compared to Duckett, stockily built. Mentioned a little earlier today, we were talking about Scottish players. Not been too many that have been hugely successful in the County Championship in recent years. Go back, of course, Mike Denness, Scott in the 70s, actually captained England. This is dropped on the leg side by Munsey. Doesn't get anything. And it's 11 for 1 here. Glad to have you along, both north of the Nottinghamshire border and those of you inside the county as well. Whether you're listening to us on the radio, on BBC Radio Nottingham's FM frequencies, or online, or following us through the live stream, the pictures on Trent Bridge Live. Ty, final ball of his first over. Again, driven through the offside, and it's away by Munsey for 4. Good over for these two left-handers. Outlaws up to 15 after 2 overs after being put in.
Lovely shot by Munsey. We heard loads of things that he gets on with it, he plays his shots, he's an aggressive batter, gives it a bit of a whack, and well, certainly shows. He's 8 off 3 first ball, nice juicy full toss on leg stump. The next ball, half volley and carved through the offside. Not a 15 for 1 after 2.
George Hill is going to continue then at this Radcliffe Road end of the ground. George pretty much missed last year's tournament. He got called up for the Lions. There was also an injury issue around about the same time, and he's been knocking on various coaches' doors over the last few seasons for opportunities. He's only played 21 previous T20 matches, and he's fired that one down the leg side of Ben Duckett, which will cost him a run. So yeah, just 4 T20 wickets prior to taking that of Joe Clark this evening, but that's really down as much as anything to lack of opportunity, and you know what it's like when you're trying to make your way in the game.
Yeah, sometimes you just need just a bit of a decent run, don't you? Someone to go, here, listen, George, here's 4, 5, 6 games, you're going to open the bowling, this is going to be the role, and let you crack on from there, give him a bit of experience.
Yeah, he's in again then. Lovely scoop shot by Ben Duckett. It's one of his stock in trades, isn't it? And stepped across and just got it straight over, a long way over the top of Johnny Bairstow. Wasn't far off clearing the rope entirely, but it did bounce the once. And 4 runs to Ben Duckett.
It's just a great shot. We were saying it, Dave and I were saying it in the ladies' game. It's just almost becoming more regular than a block. These reverse sweeps, ramps, switch hits. People practice them every single day. Comfortable to do it first ball or last ball. Great shot, Ben Duckett.
Here's Hill again round the wicket. Duckett this time tucks up the front knee, flicks it away back at a square. Matthew Revis comes in off the boundary edge to keep them 2-1.
I think there were 1 or 2 in the women's match that you might want to put them away again for a while until they've had a little bit more practice. Trying the reverse to balls 9 inches outside off stump full, bringing about their demise. It's a good game. The Blaze just chasing down Yorkshire's total in the last over a little earlier.
Yeah, cracking match as Hill is in. That's blocked by Munsey, who give the impression in that, well, I've commented on a few games that he's played in for other services in Scotland colours, and he does sort of give you that feel of when he hits it, it stays hit.
Yeah, just there's a little bit of a presence out there, isn't it? He's blocked that. Even though he's blocked it, he's looked like, I need to get after this, yeah.
Here comes Hill again, and forward and flicking backward of square Munsey on this occasion. Again, Revis will field and return it for the concession of 1. Yeah, he's a powerhouse. I mean, you did mention rugby league, so you've given us the
you have
given us the office brace. And I think I'm picking him at centre for me.
Yeah,
my team. He's going to take some stopping if you give him a bit of 5 yards to get going.
If he ran at me, I'd be so scared. I'd be so scared.
In comes Hill again. It's turned in front of square this time by Duckett, who's into double figures already. He's picked up another single to take his score to 12, and that is 23 for 1 with 1 to come in the third. Yes. You can't say that. I mean, Tom would be absolutely ashamed.
I know. Tom wouldn't be happy with that. He'd absolutely hate that, but I think I'm backing that. I missed the tackle and get him on the ankle tap on the way back.
Hill in again. Oh, he's picked this one up beautifully over square leg. That is a super shot by George Munsey and brings him 6 runs. George Hill just straying a little bit too leg stump and a little bit too full. That was a beauty.
He's adjusted quite well to the change in time zone. As I say, played in Nepal for Scotland on Wednesday, flew back yesterday. It's looking okay at the moment, seeing it all right.
I was about to say, I wish I could see it that well after getting off a flight like that. He just flicked that away and it's landed in the Fox Road. The actual road itself's gone out the ground. Really lovely shot.
And you just know Peter Moores and the coaching staff will have just said, go out there and play your natural game.
Yeah.
You know, if it comes off, it comes off. The umpires have had to send for the James Bond briefcase full of replacement balls.
Yep.
It cleared the stand, did it?
Yeah, it's gone over the Larwood stand, hasn't it? Which is a lot smaller than the Fox Road. So into the road there, it's probably under someone's car. Nice big, expensive white cricket ball.
It's that big a hit. 2 umpires have had to go off the field to find a replacement. I just love those 2 stewards down there. That's got me.
They got the best job on a Friday evening, don't they? In the sun.
Yeah.
Having a bit of a natter.
Let me tell you, last night I went to watch my son playing in a T20 game. Went to the wrong ground. I was so quick at looking at a WhatsApp message that I read the wrong thing. Went to the wrong ground. Was doing a piece live into our Radio Leeds cricket show last night. So then I thought I've just got enough time to leg it to the other ground. So I got there, sat there doing a live piece from this game, and bang! What happens? Yep, the ball cracked the car. It was just you sit there, you're talking live on radio, you can see the ball coming towards you, can't do anything about it. It's going to slow motion. Nightmares.
That's horrible.
I got really ribbed about it as well.
Moeen Ali, Yorkshire. His first ball is down the leg side. He'll take a single. That's a bit of a wild throw back towards Bairstow from Chauhan. I honestly thought Moeen Ali had retired. I'll be perfectly honest. And then here he is, racking up for this season's blast in
he
colours.
Had. You're right.
Well,
yeah, I thought he was done. I thought he'd hung the boots up.
Round the wicket he comes, bowls to Munsey, hits him on the pads. We've got 2 Mo Alis playing in this game. Muhammad Ali in the Notts team.
Come on, though, guys. You 2 are not going to say this, but if Yorkshire knock on the door, I mean, if Yorkshire knock on the door, what are you going to say?
There's an attempted reverse by Munsey. They'll get a single. Leg by, I think, 31 for 1.
I'm surprised Warwickshire didn't ask if he was that keen to come back and play. I'm surprised Warwickshire didn't say, for old time's sake.
Brings Duckett back onto strike. Twice a winner of this competition. Once with Northamptonshire, once with Notts. Hit the winning runs in 2020. Down the track, dropped by Moeen Ali. Absolutely laced back at him. Going like a tracer bullet. If you're being kind, he's saved 4 runs. If you're not, it's a drop. He's shaking his head, Mo, but couldn't get out of the way and couldn't hang on to it. An absolute stinger drilled back at him. Live for Duckett on 13. 31 for 1. He's gone on the reverse, got hold of this, and reverse sweeps it into the Fox Road stand for 6 more. And this could be fun if this pair hang around for a while. Not necessarily for the followers of the visitors, but it's going to be entertaining. We think it'll be the only time we see Ben Duckett in the blast this year, so he might just fancy having a little bit of fun.
Just the law of cricket. Drop catch and the next ball always goes to the boundary. It really, really does. So, lovely shot. He's so good at sweeping, reverse sweeping. That's a full-on switch hit. Absolutely phenomenal cricket shot.
I lost the flight of it, actually. It just landed just inside the boundary. It's a 4 rather than the 6. He's gone after another one and missed it, and so too has Johnny Bairstow. Bit of bat on it, bottom edge maybe, past the keeper. A single, 36 for 1. Notts going along then at 9 and over in the early stages. They lost Joe Clark for 1. George Munsey on his debut, the Scottish international, has 50. Ben Duckett has 18. Still to come Jack Haynes, Tom Moores, Lyndon James, Benny Howell, Joe Pocklington, Ollie Stone, Dylan Pennington and Muhammad Ali, who I understand is a proper number 11. So Dylan Pennington might get promoted to number 10 tonight.
No ways. Nosebleed territory.
So AJ Ty for his 2nd over switches to this Radcliffe Road end to take over from George Hill. First over he bowled, went for 13, and his right arm over the wicket then, and Duckett just drags that one a little back to the bowler, trying to play her way through the offside.
Messrs Root and Brook and
Yeah,
Rashid.
well, there'll be some Yorkshire supporters asking, well, Ben Duckett's playing, why are they not playing?
I was a bit surprised, if you want me to be honest with you. I thought as soon as the squads got released and they weren't there, I thought that's a bit of a surprise.
I don't know is the answer. It was never raised as a subject, I don't think. They played some championship cricket, as we see Duckett. Well, he just swatted that one away for 6 runs over mid-wicket, stand and deliver. And he's certainly delivering so far for the host this evening, because he's flying along here. Of course, they've taken his score off the board at the moment I wanted it.
That's almost just a bunt, isn't it? Just a half bunt, and just swings it away to the leg side. 42 for 1. Sorry, got there.
24 off 13 now for Duckett. Tie in again, this time. But he tries to swat that one as well, but didn't make a great contact. Bottom of the bat, Jaffa Chauhan, who we'll see bowl, I'm sure, at some point with his leg spin. He's in at straight mid-wicket and does the fielding.
Yeah, I interviewed Ben last week after the Surrey game, and it was almost a bit of a ta-ta and thank you and enjoy your summer interview, and he put the brakes on it. Hang on, I'm going to play next week. I fancy playing the first blast game against Yorkshire.
And here he is, putting on a show, and he's smashed that one away, this time flat bat through the offside. It's gone between extra cover Don Bess and Logan van Beek, who was quite deep at mid-off for 4 more. So AJ Tye still in search of a first Yorkshire wicket.
It's a gorgeous cricket shot. Width was on offer and it was short, but it's still a very small gap to find, and Ben Duckett has found it with absolute precision. He's raced to 28 off 15, not flying away. 46 for 1.
2 to come in the 5th. Tye in again, drilled down the ground. This time Van Beek will get there to field. His throw was a little wayward, but AJ Tye is fortunately walking back in his follow-through. 1 run. Duckett 29 off 16 after you've lost Joe Clark early. Middle stump uprooted by George Hill. This is what you want from your other opener. If you're Nottinghamshire, and Yorkshire have got to try and find a way of either to get rid of him or to stem the flow. And neither looks easy at this moment in time. Munsey on strike though. AJ Tye, first short ball we've seen of the match. And Munsey happy to watch that go through to the gloves of Bairstow to complete 5 overs then with the Outlaws 47 for 1.
Yeah, 11 from that over.
I was just going to say, it's a really good start, isn't it? We've been critical of Notts the last couple of seasons, relying on getting off to. Look at that. That's where you want to be. What do you think they're talking about, Dave?
It's not how you'd set a field to George Munsey, is it?
No,
sure it's not.
No. I hope they've got their sunscreen on. Get a tan out there. Wonderful Friday night.
They could even shout down from the stand, we're just about to start a riot. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, you just crack on, it's fine. We're just having a nice evening in the sun, thanks. Yeah.
Here's Don Bess in the final over of the power play from the Stuart Broad end. The pavilion end bowls to Duckett, pushes it back to Don Bess. I think it's his cousin, isn't it, Zach, who's on the Trent Bridge coaching staff. Duckett has 29 from 17, already played some outrageous shots. Here comes another one, but has he got underneath this one too much? That's going to be the end of Duckett. A wicket for Don Bess. Caught at a wide-ish mid-off, back-pedalling, and Duckett has to go. It's been fun whilst he's been there. Logan van Beek with the catch, judged it very nicely indeed, and Notts lose second wicket inside the power play, and it just gives Johnny Bairstow a chance just to call his troops together and just have a little reminder, a little word going forward of what's required, and the plan of attack. Duckett out for 29 from 18 balls, 4 fours and a 6.
It's really well bowled that from Don Bess. He's gone a little bit wide of the crease, lower arm angle. It's done Ben Duckett for flight as well. Maybe, just maybe, it's held up in the wicket, but Duckett's got his shape wrong. Really short and sharp innings has got to come to an end. It's a big wicket that for Yorkshire. Notts 47 for 2.
Jack Haynes on his way out to the middle, 25 years of age now, best of 89 not out in last year's competition. Notts had 2 thrilling run chases, didn't they? They were both against Warwickshire, where they chased down more than 200, both here and in the return match at Edgbaston.
Yep, first game of the season. Jack Haynes got that beautiful 80-odd. Played it beautifully.
62 matches in this format. Comes in at number 4. Still Tom Moores, who was the Outlaws' top run scorer last season in last year's competition. Daniel Sam's got quite a lot of runs as well, didn't he? He's where's he at? I think he's signed for somebody. Is he signed for Somerset, I think, Daniel Sam's. 47 for 2. His best bowls to Jack Haynes. Just gets a little bit of bounce there, and Haynes had to sort of play it right at the very top of his bat, down into the ground. Really good crowds inside Trent Bridge. Lovely to get an attendance for you a little later on, as Haynes has had a look at the first one and he gets his second one away towards the Larwood and Vos. One bounce over the ropes for 4, and Jack Haynes is up and running. Keep on coming at you, this Notts side. Sometimes it can go horribly wrong and you can end up in a heap at 30 for 5 or 6, and on another day 1 or 2 like this will come out the middle and they can really get a good score in the power play. Already over 50 runs. 51 for 2. Bessin again to Haynes. Little push and run. It's very quick between the sticks is Jack Haynes. 52 for 2.
It's good running between the wicket there. Just hit a boundary, get off strike the next ball, keep the scoreboard ticking over. Best bowled well here. Last over of the power play, only gone for 5, picking up the big wicket of Ben Duckett.
So Munsey, 15 from 9. There's a little push square of the wicket on the offside, gets a single. So 53 for 2 from the power play. I think Notts will be quite pleased. Another wicket, you'd say Yorkshire very much on top. Yorkshire will be pleased to have got rid of Clark and Duckett, who can damage any side in a short space of time. And they've got through 4 bowlers, and in this Yorkshire lineup they could probably use 7 or 8 different bowlers, and that's maybe not even Adam Lyth, who once had a 5-fer in this fixture. Here is Logan van Beek.
Yeah, Adam Lyth, I think he's had a couple of those, or if he didn't have a 5-fer at Durham, he must have had a 4-fer. He certainly had a field day there one night. But we don't see him bowled too often in T20 these days, maybe just the odd over. Logan van Beek, on the other hand, has got loads of T20 experience. Of course, Dutch international, has been at the party in the World Cup, and he's not bowled as well as he can do in Championship cricket. Let's see if there's an upturn in fortunes with the white ball. He's over the wicket here to Munsey, who's drilled that one past the clutches of diving James Wharton in the covers. Will Luxton, patrolling the boundary, is in to keep them to the single. Logan van Beek, well, certainly a character. He's the sort of guy that you and I enjoy working with, Brace, but his job is to do the business on the field of play, and that so far has been a bit of a struggle. Just getting his field sorted here for Jack Haynes, who's going to receive his first ball in this over, and he's pulled it backward of square leg. Luxton out there will do the fielding and will keep them to 1. As we said earlier, it's a glorious evening. Really good atmosphere, big crowd in, 5 figures, I reckon.
Yep, yeah, it is. Asked on the gate, said around 12 or 13. Now, I've got no idea, my math is atrocious, but it looks like there's not many spare seats left.
Certainly more than when we come down here for Championship fixtures, as Van Beek has tried a bit of juggling and dropped it down the pitch to George Munsey, so that will mean he's got to come back and try again.
And the pavilion will have come on leaps and bounds since you were here middle of last season.
Yeah, it looks to be getting taller.
Yeah.
Last time I was there was no roof, so it's done really well.
Van Beek in again, this one wide of off stump and left by Munsey, who then looks at the skies with a bit of frustration. Maybe thinks he could have smashed that one away somewhere through the offside. Yorkshire have got a third man, a squarish cover sweeper, backward point, extra cover. Mo Ali's just moved across to mid-off. Long on is AJ Tai, he's all the way out on the boundary edge, as is cow corner and backward square leg, and then just a man at 45 backward of square edged, and Bairstow parries it round the post with the big left glove, so Munsey survives a chance there.
That would have been an absolute screamer.
Yeah.
Johnny Bairstow almost at full stretch to his left there. Munsey has thrown the kitchen sink and the bathtub and the toilet at that one, and Johnny Bairstow, to be honest, he'd probably say 4.
Yeah,
would have been an absolute screamer.
A bit like the Moeen Ali one that the Duckett hit back at him. I mean, he didn't have many more after then, did he?
So Munsey on to 18, 56 for 2 to come in the 7th, and at this time Van Beek slants one down the leg side of Haynes, and inevitably that is going to be signalled as a wide. Michael Goff and Simon Widdop, the 2 umpires standing this evening.
It's been a long 4 balls. It really has. Well, I guess you've got to remember that you don't meet the cuts off. There's an extra fielder inside the ring.
Here he comes again.
It's going to be a longer 4 balls.
Result. Yeah, he's dragged it down the leg side again. The field had disappeared for the right-hander, much the same as it in reverse for the left-hander. So 3 players out on the boundary edge. Moeen Ali is up on an orthodox mid-on. AJ Ty's been brought up inside the circle as well, mid-off. And they've got a squarish cover sweeper, Matthew Revis. This one pulled out towards James Wharton, who will wait for it to bounce once and fire it back in with that typical Wharton flat arm to the gloves of Johnny Bairstow. Single then to Haynes, takes him to 7.
Very interesting plan that Van Beek's got to Haynes, just looking to go into the wicket with deep mid wicket, fine leg and deep square leg out, and just have him swing away to what is the longer boundary. Not looking anything else.
And he comes again. Now he's cloth this one. It's going to drop short though of the incoming George Hill from the cow corner boundary. Didn't get hold of that to any degree at all, George Munsey, but in the end I guess it's probably saved him. And he's on to 19. 7 overs complete. The Outlaws 60 for 2.
Yeah, they've just pushed that rope out a little bit from the women's match, haven't they?
Yeah, it's a long old way down there. Really big hit, by far the bigger side of the ground. I'm going to see a leg spinner. Jaffa Chauhan into the attack. How much time has obviously spends quite a bit of time with Adil Rashid. Now Rashid and Moeen Ali are good mates. I wonder if that had anything to do with it. But do you still see Adil Rashid quite a lot at Yorkshire? Or very, very rarely now?
I think it's 5 seasons since he last played a T20 match. In the quarter-final against Sussex that they lost up at Chestler Street.
There is Chauhan to Munsey. Drills it straight back at him. Now then, Yorkshire is celebrating here. Don't think the umpire is going to be able to give this out. Ooh. It's demolished the stumps at the far end. Chauhan's celebrations certainly lead you to believe he got something on it. He's still querying with the umpire, and he's actually raised his finger there to say he was out. That's one that maybe, just maybe, has got away from Yorkshire there.
Without a TV umpire, that's so difficult to give.
Yeah. Dramatic start to Chauhan's spell. It was hit straight back at him, and in a flash it clattered into the stumps at the far end. This one's hit back to him on the bounce. Cannoned away off the stumps. They ran through for a single, and Chauhan was absolutely adamant that not only had he got a touch on it, but that Haynes was short of his ground. This one's drilled out into the leg side for a single. 63 for 2. Men out. Joe Clark bowled by George Hill for 1. That was in the first over, and then in the 6th over Ben Duckett caught by Logan van Beek from the bowling of Dominic Best for 29.
Everyone just shuffling around here. Jack Haynes has got a very good reverse sweep. Wouldn't be surprised if we see that.
Chauhan bowls to him, backs away. Orthodox cut into the offside for a single. Again, just can't reiterate after all the damp weather we've had, particularly last week. Notts were down at Southampton every day. The rain interrupted one or more sessions in full. Lost almost 2 full days of that match. Out of the 4, there's a reverse from Muncie, and he's got this away nicely for another boundary. Looks in really good touch, George Muncie. Move on to 26 from 18, 68 for 2.
Lovely shot. Change of legs, change of hands, and helps us over backward point with the reverse sweep for 4. Really, really good shot. Looks in really fine form. That flight's done him no end of good.
Comes Chohan again to the Scot. Drops it on the leg side, calls Haynes through for a relatively easy single. 69 for 2 after 8 overs. Imagine Notts sort of push on a little bit. At the moment they're sort of 170, 180, aren't they? Still with power to add, of course. Lots of good players to come, but they'll want to start pushing on now. Only 2 wickets down.
It feels like one of those matches at the moment, Kyle, that neither side are going to be too unhappy with where they're at, but both sides know they could be in a better position.
It feels very balanced. I think you've summed it up there perfectly. I think both sides will look at this, and after 8 overs, if you offered it to both sides, would say, yeah, we'll take that. The next 3 or 4 overs, this middle period with spin is going to be crucial for both sides.
And it's Moeen Ali with his off spin to bowl to George Muncie. First ball played out into the offside. Bess does the fielding, and there is no run. So approaching the halfway stage, Yorkshire clearly fancied the chase. They won the toss. Mo just stops in his run up. Didn't quite do it in the style of you-know-who, and then go through with his action, and he's gone through with the action this time, and that's pushed out into the offside by Muncie, and there is no run. So handy enough start, couple of dots. Moeen will want to join him up. He's round the wicket again here, this time using his feet. Muncie down the track. Moeen can't quite get down quickly enough to prevent that, and they get through for a single. AJ Ty coming in off the long on boundary to field. There'll be a bit of scurrying around because the left hand right hand combi ensures that that's the case, and so Moeen just wants to make sure everything is in place for his next delivery to the right-handed Jack Haynes. He sent Matthew Revis a bit further backward of point on the boundary edge than he was standing. He's got a cow corner, deep backward square leg, 45 behind square on both sides, a short straight mid-wicket and a cover, and this has been lofted down the ground towards Logan van Beek, but to his left, and the Dutch international unable to get round. He just about got enough on that, George Muncie. He didn't strike it maybe as cleanly as he might have done, but he got close enough to the ball to get it away from the field, and the result is 4.
It's a lovely cricket shot, up and over extra cover, giving himself a little bit of room there. By no means was it wide of the wickets from Moeen Ali, and Haynes just created the room. It's an absolutely gorgeous cricket shot. 74 for 2. That's going at 8.5 and over.
Haynes on to 12 from 7 deliveries, and Ali coming over the wicket to him, and that's nicely punched away, this time for 4 more through extra cover. George Hill is in the covers, and he's not slow, and he had no chance of getting across for that.
Again, just such good batting, just uses the crease really well. That ball before runs down the wicket, inside out over extra cover, stays deep in the crease, gives himself room. Really, really difficult to bowl to batters like that.
78 for 2, and this time, having got a couple of boundaries, uses his brain and just works it to the leg side of straight. Ali can't get across for it. So 9 overs complete, and a 10 run over this time for the Outlaws. Muncie 28, Haynes 17, 79 for 2.
Yeah, real good over that for the Outlaws. Again, low risk cricket as well. Wasn't any run down, big heave across the leg side to get the 2 boundaries. It was lovely batting. Haynes moving along really nicely. He's set on 17. Muncie 28, not 79 for 2. Chohan to continue.
Of course, there's a change in the structure of the blast this year. instead of the 2 groups of 9. 3 groups of 6 as Haynes, the right-hander, helps Chowan down the ground to long on for a single. 79 for 2 becomes 80 for 2 with that run. Haynes up to 18. Of course, both these sides in the North group with Lancashire, Durham, Leicestershire and Derbyshire play each other twice. That's 10 matches, and then all the counties have been given a couple of rogue matches as Muncie again on the leg side, straight down the throat of the fielder at deep backward square, and that was as soft as you like. And Muncie's first knock as a Notts player ends on 28. He's hit it straight to Will Luxton. Didn't have to move a muscle there, and Notts are 80 for 3. Muncie, the crease for just over half an hour, faced 23 balls, 3 fours and a 6. And that just maybe tilts the momentum back towards Yorkshire. I imagine it'll be Tom Moores doing next, left-hander for left-hander. Was the Outlaws' top scorer last year. And here he comes. First sight of Tom Moores this year.
First sight of Tom Moores, but I'll tell you what, Muncie will be kicking himself walking off there. A ball that just neither went up and over or kept it on the ground and just flicked it away. Luxton takes a very, very simple catch, and Chohan will be delighted with that. That's a big wicket. Tom Moores, who has looked good in a couple of the second team games that I've seen him play, looks like he's picked up where he left off last year. He's down in Cape Town in December playing in the SA20. Now back at Trent Bridge for the Blast. This is looking forward to watching Tom Moores again.
He had a really good tournament last year. Coming in at number 5 this evening. Yes, I was just running through the 2 groups and the structure this year. Each side gets a couple of rogue matches as well, play teams outside their group. Notts have Warwickshire here, they're in the central group, and then have a Friday night trip to Canterbury to face Kent. And I was sort of saying to Jonathan, go on then, trump that, and he said we've got to go to Southampton. Here's Chowan bowling to Moores. His first ball is pushed back to the bowler.
Yours is a local derby compared to ours.
Both of them are crazy far away for a Friday night.
And Gloucestershire visit Headingley a week on Sunday. Actually, that's their trip. So that, at least they don't get a Friday night, though, don't they?
Yeah, exactly.
Outlaws 80 for 3. Chowan bowls. Moore will get off the mark, just dragging this one along the ground all the way up to long on for a single. So obviously all the matches are played. The top 2 in each group go through to the quarterfinals, and the 2 best third place teams. So 8 teams through into the quarters, and it's then as you were before.
Would that be your first match against Kent in T20 history? Have we played them before?
81 for 3. This is pushed back to the bowler. They've played them once before in a quarter-final back in... was it the 2006 or the 2008? Might have been the 2006 quarter-final, something like that here. 81 for 3, but certainly don't meet very often. Dragged down, and Haynes pulls it onto the leg side. Still 1 or 2 counties that Notts haven't played in T20. Glamorgan principally come to mind. 82 for 3 at the halfway stage. Earlier this afternoon in the women's match, different match of course, the Yorkshire women were 90 for 2, and we said then, well, double it and we've got a good game, and they did just about double it. 179 they got. Haynes has 19, Moores has 1. You're listening to the first match in this year's Vitality Blast T20 competition from Trent Bridge. Notts Outlaws hosting Yorkshire. Very much glad to be part of your Friday evening. Carl van Vollenhoven, myself, Dave Bracegirdle, and Jonathan Doidge with you.
Yeah, it will be Yorkshire's first T20 match against Gloucestershire Sunday week, but a bit of water to pass under the bridge before then as Bessie's in and bowling. And Jack Haynes a little bit annoyed with himself. Yeah, he just has a swish of his bat as he completes a single down to AJ Tyre long on. Clearly wanted to play that somewhere slightly different. He's on to 20 though. 83 for 3, just past the halfway stage. Where are we going to be in 9 overs and 5 balls time? Tom Moores wants to have a say in that. Left-handed, flexes at the knee as Bess comes in and bowls round the wicket to him, and that one's played nicely along the carpet out towards Luxton, who's round from the boundary edge to field at deepish extra cover, 2 runs.
I have to say they've got the numbers on the Notts kit bang on this year. As I say, they were gold last year. You just couldn't make them out very easily at all.
Here's Bess in again. This one slashed away by Tom Moores, but Adam Lythe is on hand, backward of point. A sort of fly gully really to do the fielding. No run.
What number would you be, Dave, with one of those Notts shirts?
There's Bess. Oh, lovely shot. He's absolutely pinged that. I tell you what, we've not seen a cleaner hit all day or all evening. Tom Moores got right over the top of it, straight out. That's the beauty of a bat. The way that travelled, 4 runs through point.
I've never had, what you'd call a lucky number or whatever.
You get what you're given, don't you?
Do you play in coloured clothing? Tomorrow, will you be in white?
No, we'll be in white, but we've got name and number on the back of our whites now.
Here's Bess round the wicket, this time down the ground from Tom Moores, but that's been fielded by AJ Tye, wideish long off, and just the single.
So what's the number? I bet you're don't tell me, I bet you're a number 1.
No,
Look
2.
At me.
Number 2.
2.
Number 2.
2
or 13. Those were Tom's numbers, actually, ironically. So they've stayed in the family, really.
Yeah, the famous number 2 for St Helens. Oh, Bess has got a wicket here, surely. Yep. Logan Van Beek takes the catch, going backwards. Took it well, actually. Tricky enough, and Jack Haynes has gone for 20. Don Bess picking up his second wicket, 2 for 14 from 2 complete overs. It's 90 for 4 after 11.
It wasn't quite a boob, it was a very definite groan from 8 or 9 or 10,000 inside Trent Bridge as that went up in the air. You could hear a collective groan. Oh, almost like 2 years ago. Here we go again.
Yeah, Jack Haynes just trying to hit across it. Hit it too hard, sliced it away, caught it deep, at bat quick point. Jonathan, it's quite funny, you were talking about Tom Moores' bat and you said he's got a lovely piece of willow. As soon as Haynes had got out caught, umpire was just like, I'm not quite sure that's legal. That sounds too good to be true. Check the back gauge and all is okay, but
interesting.
Hits it really hard, does Moores. Don't want to give him any width at all, want to be as tight to the wickets as possible, but still finds a way to manufacture it. Lyndon James is the new batter, joins Tom Moores.
Yeah, it's the end of the 11th over. Notts 90 for 4. 41 T20 matches for Lyndon James. 2 50s, best of 51. He's at the non-strikers end. Moores, well, he's had a waft at that one outside the off stump. Goes through to Johnny Bairstow. Last year, Tom Moores in this competition, 459 runs at 45.9, so I presume he was out 10 times then. 4 half centuries last year.
Got some big runs and big run chases as well.
He did. He's on strike now and slashes this away behind square. I think that'll go for 4. It will. You don't necessarily have to get it right out of the middle or hit it where you're planning on hitting it to. You just need to hit it wide of the fielder, and that's what Moores did there on the offside. That packed Fox Road stand.
He's had a ton here against Yorkshire before, hasn't he?
I think
in the Championship.
Yeah.
You say before as if he's going to do one in 9 overs here.
Well,
that's
funnier things have happened.
94 for 4. This is dropped on the leg side by Tom Moores. He'll get a single. Notts have had a T20 Centurion against Yorkshire, but it wasn't Tom Moores, it was Alex Hales a few years ago. I had a dream about him the other night. I really do need to stop eating cheese.
That, of all the things I thought you'd say tonight, that was not one of them.
No. It's very weird. Sorry, Dave, I left. I did promise to come up and do a stint of commentary with you before I left. What? Come back from Dubai just to do a stint in here. Chauhan bowls, and this is Lyndon James now on strike. Pushes his first ball into the covers, and there's no run. Of course, he has left his mark in this commentary box. Alex Hales with the dent in the desk here, where he hit this one straight in, narrowly missing Martin Emerson and Martin Emerson's precious tablet on the desk all those years ago. This one's turned away on the leg side for a single. 96 for 4.
I've always wanted to know where that mark was.
Yeah, it's been filled in with putty, but that's where Hales hit. Straight 6, and we lost the sight of it with the overhead thing, and then it just suddenly dropped, hit there, hit the wall behind you, and then I took it, and on the Sky television it looked like I'd caught it, but I hadn't. It was sort of one hand, one bounce sort of thing. This has dropped on the leg side, and they take a single, 97 for 4, and I was going to throw it back out the window, and BBC Newcastle's commentator Martin Emerson said, "Why, aye, Brace, let me take your photo." So I'm stood there holding the ball up like this. Meanwhile, on Sky, Ian Ward is saying, "All right, take your photo, then can we have our ball back? We're trying to play a game here."
Oh, that's brilliant. That's absolutely fantastic story.
End of the over, 97 for 4 after 12, and perfectly true. I mean, the footage is out there. Ryan Pringle was the unlucky bowler, the Durham big tall off spinner. Bowled to Hales from the far end. He just, as I say, smashed it straight as a die. We were obviously playing on one of these strips facing us. Here's Bess, here's Jonathan.
Yeah, around the wicket then, and Moores gets underneath this one. He levers it away over long off for 6 runs. AJ Ty was in line, but there's nothing he could do about that. Well clear of him and into the bottom tier of this Radcliffe Road stand.
I tell you what, you were as well. That was right in his slot. You could have had that one then.
Yeah, talk about stand and deliver.
It's a gorgeous shot, isn't it? That's just really lovely cricket shot.
Immediately Bess on the back foot, and Moores this time goes himself back foot and misses, and he's a bit annoyed with himself, having played the shot he played the ball before. There are 2 men waiting if he mistimes one in that area, but the power he's shown with his bat so far, even if he mistimes one, he's going to be travelling. Here's Bess again, wide of off stump, and there you go. He's got underneath it and lofted it away, deliberate I think, and he's going to get 4 runs as well over the infield through third man.
Just a bit of a helicopter shot, that really wide of the wicket. A little bit of a helicopter shot, inside out, over backward point for 4. Johnny Bairstow sprawled on the floor to his left hand side, and Tom Moores 6.4.
107 for 4. Great scene here at Trent Bridge as Moores drills this one out to Will Luxton, sweeping on the cover boundary. They'll just get a single. Shadows beginning to lengthen. Floodlights not yet on, and very much the hottest day of the year so far. 27 the car temperature gauge was saying when I pulled up in the Lady Bay car park out the back, as this is drilled down the ground by Lyndon James, and AJ Ty round to field at long on for a single for Nottinghamshire.
What are they going to get, Kyle? 180?
Yeah, I think so. 173. We'll go 173. We're a little bit different. That's what they'll get.
Best then, final ball of the over to Moores, who's got a good contact on this, but hasn't this time managed to play it away from Luxton, although he usually sure Luxton in the field. A bit of a fumble, didn't cost any runs.
Maybe there's something out there. We saw quite a few missed fields earlier on today in the ladies match out there. Maybe the outfield isn't as smooth as we think. 110 for 4 after 13. Tom Moores 26 off 15. Lyndon James 2 off the 3 balls he's faced. It's not going to be Jaffa Chohan. He's going to hold it there.
First 50 came up in 5.4 overs. It took him till 12.1 to get to 100, so slightly slowed up in that second 50, only by a couple of deliveries.
There we are, we're on the... if that's a shot from Wilson, the static camera at the far end. It's going to be Van Beek to bowl his second over from the Stuart Broad end, and Tom Moores swishing away wildly at fresh air outside the off stump. It goes through to Johnny Bairstow. Yorkshire with Bairstow and Lythe and Luxton and Moeen Ali and James Wharton and George Hill will definitely be fancying their chances of chasing down whatever knots leave for them. 10 and over gets Notts to that 180 we were just talking about. This is Moores again, push into the offside. He's run the first one quickly, but there's no chance of a second. No Farhan Ahmed in the Notts team. The last match of last year The very last act of the not season was for Farhan Ahmed to take a hat-trick in the win over Lancashire. That'll go down well with all you Yorkshire fans. The last of the 18 counties to have somebody take a hat-trick in the T20 Blast, and it was a teenager, Farhan Ahmed, against Lancashire. 111 for 4, hit crisply by Lyndon James into the offside. Who's that out there? Is that Luxton?
Yeah.
Really
That
good
is
bit of
fantastic fielding.
Funny you should say that. The last Yorkshire hat-trick of any kind was Lockie Ferguson to win a match against Lancashire at Headingley in a T20 one night. Last 3 wickets to clean him up.
That doesn't get much better, does it?
No.
Build the statue.
Well, I tell you what, if it had continued playing, they might have done that. He was very effective, but
Headingley must have been
relatively
bouncing.
short-lived stint. Yeah.
He bowls thunderbolts.
Yes.
112 for 4. So does Van Beek. He's in now and slashed away and dropped at backward point by Dom Bess. He's lost his cap in the process, but a bigger dent to his pride is that he's put down Tom Moores. The slashing Tom Moores outside the off stump on 27 is dropped by Dom Bess from the bowling of Van Beek. It was short and wide, slashed away. It was certainly travelling, got both hands to it, couldn't hang on.
Yeah, Bess has got high standards in the field. I think he would have should have caught that.
Van Beek now to Lyndon James, who's on 3 from 4, now 3 from 5 as he fails to make contact. That's 3 tough chances that have gone down, isn't it? One to Bairstow, one to Moeen Ali, the one drilled back at him, and that one.
Yeah, I think the Bairstow one was the most difficult of the 3.
Yeah, I agree.
The other 2, you've seen that they're not easy chances, but you see him caught plenty of times, don't you?
I think Bess is probably the easiest one. Probably.
Yeah.
Here comes Van Beek again. Nice buzz around the ground, and Lyndon James has hit this back over his head for 4. Sooner or later something had to give in that little battle. He was either going to get bowled neck and crop, or he was going to middle one, and he smashed it straight back over the Dutch international's head. End of the over, end of the 14th over.
This is why T20 is such a challenge, isn't it, for a bowler, Carl?
Yeah, it's so
that's
hard.
a pretty good over from Logan Van Beek. He's gone for just the 3 in the first 5 deliveries, but just can't quite get out of the over.
He's just gone searching a little bit there. It has tailed back in all fairness, but I think that harder length that he was bowling to Lyndon was a lot more difficult to play. He's just gone a little bit fuller, gone a little bit searchy, and Lyndon can just hit through the line of the ball. Nowadays these players just sort of look for that step and hits, and that's the exact one. It's a really tough game to be a bowler at the moment. 117 for 4. Moeen Ali back into the attack.
Yeah, Radcliffe Road end, and pulled to Matthew Revis on the boundary edge at Cow Corner, and Tom Moores has given it away, and he was going really well, 28 from 19 in the end, but it's 117 for 5 now, and still half a dozen overs to bowl.
Just look at these scores. Apart from Joe Clark out for 1, you're at 29, 28, 20 and 28. They're getting starts and they're getting out. Nobody's reached 30.
And Tom Moores, the ball before this was dropped, and you thought maybe that's just going to kick-start it, let it go again, he'll cash in. And he just was there to hit for 6. You feel that, really unlucky not to put that away, but again, another soft dismissal. Moore's got to go. Another player that's got in, another player that's looked really, really good. Knott's now 117 for 4.
Debutant
5.
here.
Sorry, 5.
In the T20, Joe Pocklington, left-arm spinner. Knott's got from Lincolnshire. They monitored him last year. Played against Notts in that, I don't know what they call it, the national,
the showcase games. The
national county game, Lincolnshire against Notts. They were mightily impressed with what they saw, and snapped him up for the Metro Bank last year. And he had a very good tournament, given a contract to the end of last year and given a longer contract in the winter, and now he's making his T20 debut for Notts. Joe Pocklington. Oh, it's not, it's Benny Howell.
There you go. As Moeen Ali, having just taken his first wicket for Yorkshire.
That's not Benny Howell, that's Joe Pocklington.
Yeah. They had his name right, and
that's Pocklington.
Yeah, that is Pocklington. Howell's does not look like that.
No. Dot ball first up. And another one as well drilled back at the bowler. So 3 successive dots, including a wicket here for Moeen Ali. As I say, his first Yorkshire wicket. He's got a young lad with a bit of promise about him. He could be around for a long time, this fella.
Yep,
and
good.
He's in again, floats this one up. It's I was going to say drilled, but actually he didn't really get a great contact on it. It's dribbled its way down to AJ Tai coming in from long off, and it is a single. He's given us number 15, which is Joe Pocklington.
Yeah. It says Howell on the live stream, it says Howell on the scoreboards inside the ground, but I've had enough associations with Pocklington to know it's him.
Ali going over the wicket, and that's turned by Lyndon James to the incoming James Wharton for a single. So these are tricky times for, it's first game of the season, but often players down this end of the order don't get in that often. They know the job. We'll see if they're going to do it here as Pocklington plays that one long down to George Hill, long on. Picks up a single, but it's a good over at this stage by Moeen Ali, because he went for just 3 singles in it, and he took the wicket of Tom Moores. 120 for 5 with 5 overs remaining, the Outlaws.
Yeah, Yorkshire, I would say, now got their noses ahead. This could all fizzle out for the Outlaws unless somebody can deliver. Pocklington on debut. Lyndon James only averaged 17 from the handful of matches he's played in this competition thus far. So something needs to give really for Notts, Kyle, otherwise it's not going to be anywhere near that 180 we were talking about.
No, they've started just stuttering along, aren't they? Someone needs to get in and sort of put a score on the board.
Jaffa Chauhan back for his final over. First ball down the leg side, helped away, and it'll go for 4 behind square. Matthew Revis, the fielder, unable to prevent it sliding over the ropes and into the wall at the base of the Fox Road stand.
It's a very good shot, very good option, reverse sweep, no one there on the offside, and executed it to perfection.
Fine way to start the over with a boundary. Pocklington on strike. I think he's met that on the full toss, actually. He's got down the track quickly. He wanted 2, but I think it was quite right for Lyndon James to say no, hold your horses, or words to that effect. Just a single, 125 for 5. The floodlights are on here at Trent Bridge. Don't really need them, but they do like, in fairness to all the players, to pop them on early and just let everybody become accustomed to the change in light. James will get another single, 126 for 5. So important to get a boundary early on in the over, isn't it? It takes a little bit of the pressure off you.
Just allows you then to tick over. You can 5 singles or 5 singles, 4 singles, and you got 8-9 off the over without taking any other risks. So really important.
Chauhan bowls, cut into the offside by Pocklington. No run there. So 6 from 4 balls in this over. There's only 4 overs remaining after this one, and Notts 126 for 5. Pocklington stands tall when he's at the crease. Eases this all the way down the ground to wideish long off. Fielded down there by Van Beek. 127 for 5. 1 ball left in the 16th.
Yeah.
Maybe lost a wicket too many to go all guns blazing from the start of the next over. Oh, this is hit back and caught by Chauhan. He needed 2 attempts, but the first one was the one that did all the hard work for him, because he got his hands in the right position, cupped it nicely, and although it bobbled out upwards, and the second time it was just picking a cherry off a low-hanging branch. It was a lovely bit of skill from Chauhan, and Lyndon James has gone for 9, and Notts really in a downward spiral here. 127 for 6.
Yeah, Notts in all sorts of trouble. It's a very good sharp catch from Chauhan. Came back quickly, and a lot of people underestimate the one that just keep your hands on it, make sure it's there for the rebound, and that's exactly what he's done. So Lyndon James got to go. He's gone for 9 off 9, and now I'm sure we will see the correct Benny Howell walk to the crease.
Yeah, he's on debut. He's played here, there and everywhere pretty much, Benny Howell. Now 37 years of age. I'm sure at some point this week somebody will tell me if anybody else born in France has ever represented Notts. But I can't think of one off the top of my head. Benny Howell, born in Bordeaux. Ooh la la.
It's a nice part of the world.
A couple of spells with Hampshire, either side of one with Gloucestershire. Proven winner, he's played franchise cricket all around the world. 127 for 6. JD, 4 to go.
Yep, and Jaffa Chauhan finishes his 4, the first to complete tonight. 4 overs, no maidens, 2 for 26. He's very much feeling, I don't know about you guys, but to me, that spin is king with the ball tonight. It's feeling like it's just that little bit easier when the ball's coming on. We'll find out a bit more maybe in this over from Logan van Beek from this Radcliffe Road end, which has gone for a single first up then.
I was a little surprised that Farhan Ahmed was in the Notts squad and didn't get a nod. They've got some out-and-out pace there with Ollie Stone, Dylan Pennington, Muhammad Ali. They've got Benny Howell and Lyndon James, the all-rounders, and they've got Pocklington, the slow left-arm spinner.
Here comes Van Beek again over the wicket. Howell's got underneath this one with a top edge down to third man. Jaffa Chauhan's down there, but Benny Howell off the mark, first ball with a single, trying to play it away through the onside as he's just replayed for us at the non-striking end. Van Beek's getting the field sorted for the switch back to the left-handed Pocklington, who's 9 from as many deliveries.
Van Beek's bowled quickly this evening. It's one thing I've thought straight away. He's running, he's hit the deck hard, he's looked the ball quite fast, and just that hard back of a length.
Here he is again, and this one round about off stump and hit straight. AJ Ty for a moment looked like he might not quite get there, but he has got down in the end and kept him to 1.
Yes,
cut-off time, by the way, folks, is 7:49. So they're going to be fine for that.
Yeah, they'll be absolutely golden for that. Still got another over of Bess as well if you want to. I'm sure AJ Ty will finish.
Van Beek in, short, pulled, not entirely beautifully timed, but he might get a boundary, not quite. Adam Lyth is still quick enough to flick that back in, and James Wharton helped him out to fire it back. They've got 2.
On a bright summer's day, that was like seeing the vapour trails of 2 aeroplanes getting closer and closer, and thinking, oh, they're perhaps going to crash into each other, and you know they're probably a mile apart. And from here, it certainly looked as if they were going to run into each other.
We do have passing air traffic as Van Beek is in, goes short again, and he has been wided after consultation from Michael Goff across to Simon Widdop at square leg. They have decided that is too high, unhittable for Benny Howell, effectively.
Yorkshireman Simon Widdop at square leg.
Yeah, he had to think long and hard about giving that. He's not going to get out of the ground alive tonight, guys. That's it now. He's a goner. 133 for 6. Van Beek is in. Oh, beautiful shot. He's absolutely hammered that one, Benny Howell. Goodness gracious me, that is a powerhouse shot straight back over the head of the bowler for 4 runs.
That's a stand and deliver shot, that, from Benny Howell with authority. Walks down the crease, swats this straight down the ground, and then there's a little pose for everybody in the ground to say, I'm here.
Muscular man, Benny in the pecs.
There he is. Van Beek, it's turned away through mid-wicket. Wharton is round to field. Howell's picking up 2 now. He's moved on to 9 from just the 4 deliveries. And this is what Nottinghamshire needed at this stage. But 139 for 6 with just 3 overs remaining. Still got a lot of work to do, the house.
Yeah, they do indeed.
First night of the blast, games going on up and down the country. Adam Hassel, when we hand back to him during the interval here, will bring you up to speed with whatever else is happening in the sporting world. Of course, Thomas Tuchel earlier today announcing his World Cup squad of 26. No place for Nottingham Forest. Morgan Gibbs-White, Elliot Anderson is included. Notts County's build up to the playoff final on Monday at Wembley goes on apace. And of course I'll be at Old Trafford for the Outlaws' second match on Monday afternoon, which unfortunately coincides with that playoff final. There's AJ Tye back into the attack. Australian to bowl the 18th over and maybe the last. First ball is just dropped on the leg side by Pocklington for a single. So 2 T20 debutants out there for the Outlaws batting together. Still got another one to come, Muhammad Ali, but I think if they get down to him it might be an issue. Ollie Stone and Dylan Pennington listed to come in before him.
Yeah, you'd hope that Muhammad Ali does not have to strap him on this evening. Just get your bowling boots ready.
Tye bowls chipped to mid-on, straight into the hands of mid-on. Had there been one there wasn't. He was all the way down the ground in front of the Hound Road faithful. 141 for 6. Yorkshire have done very, very well indeed, actually, over the second portion of what we've seen so far. And once they've got rid of Clark, Duckett and then Munsey, they've been very much in control of this fixture. Bouncer, that's gone over the shoulders, certainly on the bounce of Pocklington, and that's okay according to Michael Goff. 141 for 6.
That's a good bounce of that, really well directed with the field set for that. Set deep on the leg side, all the men out, bar mid on. So don't think Pocklington's going to get many in his half here from AJ Tye.
15 balls left, 141 for 6. Down the track comes Pocklington, misses it, goes through to Johnny Bairstow. And there's no run. When's the next Yorkshire fixture?
Sunday at Headingley against Derbyshire, doubleheader. It's not Derbyshire for the women, that is Surrey.
141 for 6, and of course everybody with a Nottinghamshire County Championship persuasion would like to congratulate Yorkshire on their win this week. Defeating Surrey. Shouldn't laugh. Well done, Yorkshire. Pocklington will get a single, nudging this again, playing in the V, just to the onside of straight for a single.
I'll tell you what, you would have laughed if you'd have suggested that result 7 days earlier.
Yeah.
But they thoroughly deserved what they got at Edgbaston the week before and what they got at Headingley last week. You know, it's one of those things.
Yeah. Tell you who's not laughing is Jamie Smith.
142 for 6. Whoa!
Oh wow!
Eddie Howler's given this a smack towards the Larwood and Rose public house. It might just have been on its way into the car park. Not sure where it's landed. Everybody's looking over the wall as if it has potentially gone into the car park for a drink. And for the second time, the umpires have got a call for the James Bond attaché case full of spare balls. Benny Howell getting hold of that one.
That is a monster. That is an absolute monster. It's landed on top of the roof, the Fox Road stand, and trickled over into the players' car park.
I don't think it was doing any trickling.
No, it was
when he first
crash bang wallop.
I thought that's heading for the wash or somewhere like that. It's got a long way.
That is a big 6. That's the biggest one of the evening. They most certainly need a few of them really to really kickstart this innings.
A little shot of the Notts dugout there. Peter Moore's the head coach, taking a few notes. Stephen Mullane, his sunglasses on top of his head. Former Blast winner with the Outlaws, of course.
Now this is interesting. George Hill, who got the first over, is getting the last from the Radcliffe Road end, not the last over of the innings, of course. That'll probably go to AJ Tye. This is a challenge for him. 1 for 16 from his 2 overs so far. He's over the wicket. He bowls a low full toss to Pocklington first up, and James Wharton with an unusual misfield at point. They probably would have got the one anyway. They'd set off and were going pretty strongly. So we'll say he kept them to 1.
I think all parties will be satisfied with that. Happy to prevent the extra run going on the board, but not so be happy that Howell, 16 from 6, is on strike.
Here's Hill. Ooh, full toss again. Slower full toss this time. Is he going to be wide in?
No ball.
No ball.
No ball.
Too high. Michael Goff.
And a warning.
That's a free one. Free hit. Not that I think Benny Howell needs any invitation to have a swing.
No, so after just 18 overs and 1 legitimate ball. The 150 comes up. It's taken him bang on 6 overs to get that most recent half century. And in comes Hill, and he's gone full toss again. It's down the ground, and AJ Tye fields at long on, so just the 1 run from the free hit. Bit of damage limitation. You can see what he's trying to do here. He's just, I don't know if it's sweat on the hands or what, he's not quite letting it go where he wants to.
Just trying to get it really, really full in the block hole. Field set for that bowling, nice and full.
Pocklington back on strike. He's gone underneath this one. Now then, he's not got fully hold of it. Revis is underneath. Will it carry? Oh, wow. Revis catches it over the boundary, flicks it back in. Didn't touch the deck. Logan Van Beek can't quite get his hands on it for the catch, but they managed to keep it in play, and they got through for how many while that was all going on?
Pocklington hit it, so they get 1 or 3.
They got, exactly. I've watched the ball.
They've only got 1.
Yeah, you'd have thought so. It's pretty quick running if they manage to get back for 3 then. So Pocklington 14, 152 for 6. Hill in again. Howell's got hold of this one though. That is 6. That's gone a long way over cow corner. Nearly clears the entire side of the ground. The boundaries are out to a good 20-25 yards in.
That is an absolute monster. I'm just having a look how big that is. That would have soared probably over the Fox Road stand as well, playing far over to the Fox Road side of the ground. Short ball and heaved away on the leg side. Lovely Benny Howell.
158 for 6. This time low full toss again, and Wharton comes in off the boundary to keep them to 1. Howell 24 off 10 deliveries. He's having an effect, and he's having the effect that the hosts wanted here. But I'd still say at the outset, with 7 balls to go, Yorkshire wouldn't have been too disappointed with this.
Yeah, you would have Yorkshire winning the toss and saying, "Not, please have a bat first." If you'd offered them around about this with 7 balls to go, they would have said, "Thank you very much." Always a good wicket here.
Final ball for George Hill then, bowling it to Pocklington, who's got it low on the bat. Moeen Ali will field. They've got through for a single. So George Hill, 3 overs, no maidens, 1 for 28 at the end of his spell this evening. And 19 overs in, 6 balls remaining for Nottinghamshire. They're 160 for 6.
Yeah, we're just having a look at the replay. It was absolutely brilliant stuff. Revis has caught it over the boundary rope, thrown it back, and then it was still going over the boundary, and they had to just parry it back over. So really, really good double teamwork just to keep it to a single. Save 5 runs there.
Of course, the women's match earlier today went the full distance, 20 overs in each innings, just about. So AJ Tye to begin the 60th over of the day on this strip. Bowls to Pocklington, and it's gone over the top of the middle stump, and Pocklington had wandered outside his off stump, just trying to paddle it away or lap it away fine, and missed it. So a wasted opportunity there to either get runs or get Howell back on strike. 160 for 6, 5 balls left in the innings. Joe Pocklington 15 not out on debut. Benny Howell 24 not out on debut. Tye bowls, and again straight through to Johnny Bairstow. Howell wanted to come there, but they'd have had no chance really. Johnny Bairstow would have run him out. I'm sure his eggs are eggs. 160 for 6.
Got to think that common sense just needs to prevail here a little bit. Just get bat on ball, get Benny Howell on strike. He's striking it so well. Give him the majority of the balls to face.
Probably should have done that first ball of the over, but that's with hindsight, and that's the easiest one to get Howell back on strike. Just drop it on the leg side, because the field was set deep. 161 for 6. And what can Benny Howell do? The last 3 balls. AJ Tye, vastly experienced T20 campaigner. Can he pick up his first Yorkshire wicket here?
Johnny Bairstow just had a word, didn't he? Quiet word in the shell-like of Benny Howell. Can he clear the new pavilion?
Tye in. He's tried.
Oh, he's tried it.
It's high out to long off, and it's gone for 6. Got it away, sort of deep extra coverage. The fielder was at long off, had to run round, just open the face a little bit.
Yeah.
He's got such an open bat face here. If we just look there and just almost slices it away. And
it's a bit like a golfer playing out of a bunker, isn't it, with a flat head.
Exactly that.
6 more. There's Ty in again, nice and full, and he's played over the top of that, so that's a precious dot ball. We've had 7 runs in this final over. There's 1 ball left. Not so 167 for 6. Kyle actually between us said 173. That was his prediction, wasn't it?
I did think that. I did think that. I thought, Benny Howell, come on, you could make my day today.
I'll tell you what, we're looking for some irregular betting patterns if that's the case after this delivery.
Howell's on 30. And he's hit this away into the offside.
Oh, what a catch!
It has been caught. It's a magnificent effort in the deep there. 167 for 7. It's George Hill who has slid round there in front of the Batman board and taken it within an inch or 2 of the ground, and indeed an inch or 2 of the rope, and he had to catch the ball and just make sure his feet wouldn't just touch the ground either. That was brilliant work. Benny Howell goes 30 from 13, 1 4 and 3 6s, and Notts have to be content with 167 for 7, Kyle.
Yeah, thanks to a real flurry from Benny Howell at the end, Notts have got something to bowl at. 30 of 13 balls there gives Notts a chance, but you would say that Yorkshire will be happy of the 2 walking off. What a catch that was there. He's certainly saved 4 runs. It just shows how much good fielding can save you. Notts 167 for 7.
Yeah, I mean, he's normally accustomed to fielding in the slips. He was joking with me actually on a piece I recorded the other day with him, saying he loves fielding at slip until Lords, Root and Brook turn up and kick him out of there when they're playing the championship games. But he's just shown us he can field in the outfield. That was a belting catch. So yeah, I think Yorkshire would have taken that at the start. I've got to say, you know as well as I do the poor record that they've had here over the years, and they've had some miserable scores and some miserable nights, often at the hands of Samet in the past, and the Bulwell bomber as well. He's done he's done the business against Yorkshire a time or 2. It's not anywhere near done yet, but I think they'd have been happy enough chasing that score when they won the toss.
You wonder where it went wrong for Notts. You've only got to take a glance at the scorecard. Benny Howell out there, the last ball of the innings, out for 30, and he was the top scorer. He made 30. Ben Duckett, who opened the batting this evening, 29. Couple of 28s, Munsey and Moores. 20 from Haynes, 16 not out from Pocklington. So many starts there, Kyle. You need in this format. I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about what the team get. But in order for the team to put a score on the board, somebody, more often than not, has got to bat for 13, 14, 15 overs and everybody else play around them.
Someone from that top 5 or 6, has got to go on and get a 70 or an 80. Duckett 29, Munsey 28, Haynes 20, Moores 28. Just one of those needs to go on and get a 60, 70, and then allow Howell to come in and hit 30 quick runs at the end. That's the difference between getting close to 200, just over it, and getting stuck at around the 160, 170 mark, which you do feel is under par here for a Friday night at Trent Bridge.
And you're our spin expert.
Spinner's the one.
They've only gone in with Pocklington.
I know. We saw it. Jaffa Chauhan look really good. Dom Best looked really good. It looked quite difficult to get them away.
Mo as well.
Mo and Ali. The one thing I will say, Benny Howell, you can almost class as a spinner with the loads of different variations that he's going to bowl. I'd say his 4 overs are crucial. Very similar type of bowler to what we saw what Stephen Mullaney used to do all those years ago. Joe Pocklington on debut. Really, really tough ask, but I think his 4 overs will be crucial as well. We saw that pace on did tend to go the distance a little bit this evening.
Is there any value in trying to blast the side out? Because that's what they'll be looking to do with Ollie Stone, Dylan Pennington and the new arrival Muhammad Ali.
Always an option to do it. But fire's going to be met with fire. Johnny Bairstow and Adam Lyth aren't going to hold back at the top of the order, that is for sure. Will Luxton, Mo and Ali, they're all absolutely phenomenal strikers of the cricket ball that are used to quick, fast bowling. And I think they'll be licking their lips a little bit at the fact that, under lights, the ball skids on a little bit better. And with only 167, they know that if one of them comes off and gets a 60, they can break the back of the chase quite quickly.
Thank you, Carl. More from Carl van Vollenhoven, from Jonathan Deutsch and myself when we come back. Won't be too long before the chase is underway. Adam, as we hand back to you, and I'm sure you can round up what's been another very, very full day in the world of sport. on the circuit, and Simon Widdup has been ACB first class umpire for, I would say, a decade or so now himself, so we're in good hands tonight. Notts Outlaws have already had their innings. If you're just joining us, made 167 for 7. Lots of starts, as we've been talking about. Benny Howell with 30 though, the top score. Yorkshire require 168 to win. This is going to be tough, I think, for Notts, with only one spinner in the side. Got Carl van Vollenhoven and Jonathan Deutsch back alongside. Queues on the concourse were massive, so we had a little look and then we came back in, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. We had the right idea. Unfortunately, I think it was never going to happen.
It was a comfort break that wasn't a comfort break.
Correct.
Let's put it that way. So we're here. So
yeah, it was like sardines in there, lads. I can promise you. Or whatever you want to think of.
Oh, goodness me.
168 for your boys, JD. They'll be 70-30 favourites, 80-20 favourites. Where have you got it?
I'm not sure about 80-20. This is Yorkshire, and while you do have a very proud history in this competition, the Yorkies have only got to finals day 3 times, never won it. One of the few counties yet to have enjoyed a finals day success, so I wouldn't be getting over brave about making predictions. They've still got to play well. Yeah, just got the feeling when Yorkshire were bowling that it was harder work for the batters when the spinners were on. We'll see how it plays out as the floodlights take control, the light dims and all the rest of it. But Adam Lyth, he's probably got a little bit of a reprieve. There were lots of word around that it's going to be Will Luxton and Johnny Bairstow opening the batting this season, and he might miss out, but he's got a bit of a reprieve here tonight. Can he take his opportunity? He's been a very good player over the years.
Lyth and Bairstow out there, Lyth on strike. It's going to be Dylan Pennington to get us underway from the pavilion end. First ball just shaping across the left-hander, and tumbling Tom Moores dives in front of the slip. Ben Duckett. We had, I think we had a slip in for 1 ball of the Notts innings. 1 out there already.
Perhaps worth pointing out for Notts supporters who are not aware, these two shared a 246 run partnership just last weekend in the Championship, got 100 apiece.
Wow, good form.
That won't be happening this evening, just purely because they don't need that many. Lyth on strike. Pennington bowled all down the leg side and tickled away for 4. He can race to the easiest 100 he's ever had if he keeps getting balls like that. Pacey from Pennington, poorly directed, Kyle.
Yeah, really quick, that just down the leg side, and it almost looks like it's come on the bottom end of Adam Lyth's bat. He's just tried to help it over fine leg and just got a little tickle on it and race away for 4. You'd absolutely love to get those second ball of your innings just to get off the mark.
Yeah. Fairly standard field, of course. We're in the restrictions. There is the 1 slip in there, 1 out on either side. It's a form of protection, and this is hit by Lyth to mid-off, and there's a wicket. Pennington strikes 3rd ball. Adam Lyth has gifted Notts an opening there, and he goes with just 4 on the board, and that brings the equation back a little bit more towards Notts. That was a little loose from Adam Lyth. He plays that way, but just maybe he's left a lot of runs out there tonight. Ollie Stone with the simple catch from the bowling of Pennington. 3 balls in, 4 for 1.
Yeah, that's a big wicket. Bit of a soft wicket. Adam Lyth running down the wicket, looking to just put Pennington under quite a lot of pressure. It's hit quite high up on the bat, and Ollie Stone will not take a simpler catch on the ring, taking 2 steps to his right-hand side and gobbled it up. So Yorkshire lose their first. They're 4 for 1 after 3 balls, and Luxton walks to the crease.
Yeah, Will Luxton out there. Just wondered what he was doing. He was just having a little bit of a natter to the 12th men out there, and also to Jack Haynes. Don't know what that was about. He passed him something, handed him something. I don't know if it was a drinks bottle or what it was. Anyway, Luxton finds himself out there at number 3, halfway through the first over. Yorkshire 4 for 1. Johnny Bairstow's not faced a ball yet. Dot for wicket in this over. That'll give Dylan Pennington a huge boost. Previous ball poorly directed down the leg side. Had he just got a little more on that and lifted it over Ollie Stone, he'd be really under pressure. As it is, he comes in and bowls and Luxton's away first ball, pushing to the offside for a single. That's Howell. Straight away I've noticed when he was batting and certainly in the field that Benny Howell has a lime green wristband.
Yep.
You don't see too many of those. I don't know if it's something that's followed him about in his career or it's... I
think he's always worn wristbands.
Well, it's a case of matching the Notts colours. Traditional green and gold of Notts seems to have been abandoned. We don't have any gold at all in this one, do it? But as long as it's not the numbers we had last year, doesn't matter. We had predominantly gold tops with the green bands and all sorts of things over the years. 5 for 1. Johnny Bairstow to face his first ball on a ground where he's generally done pretty well. Gets a short one up round about the visor, rolls the wrists away on the leg side, and he's up and running. I think this is the ground where he's sort of been heralded as being the first to fully implement Bazball. Was that Test match?
Yeah,
where he just kept smashing it into the
against New Zealand as well.
Road stand.
It's also the ground at which, if you remember, during COVID, I was out in the stand here next door and I got cleared off. He was batting and he was wandering down the pitch, wasn't he?
Luxton has one. Oh, and he's taken the aerial route here. Nobody can get round. He has got a boundary. That's Joe Pocklington trying to get there on the leg side. It went very high, and for a moment I just wondered if it would stay up there high enough for Pocklington to get round and catch it. It didn't. It bounced and skipped away for a boundary. 10 runs from the over, but a really important wicket there. Adam Lyth out in that first over. Lyth's best is 161. Is that still the highest in the T20 Blast?
Yeah, against Northamptonshire. Yeah, those days are a fair way behind him now. In the last couple of years he's not been as effective, if we're honest, in this format, and hence, you know, there were suggestions that he might not be starting the competition, but of course they're not at full strength tonight. One or two players missing that would possibly have changed the lineup. So Muhammad Ali is coming in to try and pack a punch. Can Johnny Bairstow counter? He is on strike then. Ali at the Radcliffe Road end. First delivery is well wide and low and full. That's not quite full toss, but he's got away with it. It's okay. Dot ball. I
mean, it's tailor-made for a punmeister, isn't it? The name Muhammad Ali.
Yeah. Come on. Who's going to be? I'm not going to be the one to say it though.
Well, he's already had counter and throw a punch.
To coin a boxing phrase,
yes. He's of course not Mo Ali. There's two Mo Alis playing in this game.
In comes the Nottinghamshire version over the wicket, and Bairstow struck that firmly, half stopped, or a hand on it at least, in short extra cover, which has helped, and he gets through for a single.
For those of you that like these sorts of things and aren't looking at the pictures, Mo Ali's wearing number 14. Just trying to think. Luke Wood, certainly when he was here, had number 14.
Matthew Montgomery had number 14.
He did. That was it. Thank you, Kyle. I was racking my brains there. I knew there was somebody that had slotted in between Luke Wood leaving and Muhammad Ali's appearance today. Yes, Matthew Montgomery now with Derbyshire. He was 14.
Yeah, Monty.
In comes Ali then to Will Luxton, who's on 5 at the moment. Tries to play across that one, flick it away into the yawning gap on the leg side, but missed out. So Luxton, if you haven't seen him play before, really sort of languid, wristy player, times the ball well. He's had more opportunities now, I'd say, in this format than in red ball, but he did get promoted to open the batting just last week in the championship game. Didn't work out for him. I think he got 8. And just flicks it a bit uppishly on the leg side, but got 100 in the 50 over competition down at Rugby School against Warwickshire the season before last. Finished it off with a couple of 6s. Strikes it well, and he waits as Ali comes in now. Bowled him, middle stump, no, leg stump I think it is, out of the ground. Either way, there's a stump flat behind him, and Luxton is walking off with just 5 runs against his name, 11 for 2 in the second over Yorkshire.
Well, I was doing my research before the game today, and everywhere I read it said he has an absolutely lethal Yorker. That was lethal. Fired in at the toes, leg stump's been disappeared. What a delivery that is. I think Luxton's got a bit of a ball that's unplayable there. Welcome to Nottinghamshire. That is absolutely rapid as well.
I think it is leg stump, it is. Crikey. It's only taken him 4 deliveries to get his first wicket for the Outlaws, and all of a sudden, 80-20, 70-30 we were talking about. I mentioned to JD 5 minutes ago, might be 60-40 now.
I think it might be a little bit closer than that. I did say on my preview back to Radio Leeds before tonight's match started, in all honesty, Yorkshire, I feel that you look at the lineup, their strength overall is probably with the ball, and if they lose a couple of early wickets with the bat, that's going to become challenging for them, and here they go in the very first match.
Wharton in ahead of Moeen Ali. Whether they're saving Mo for a bit of a rescue mission in the middle overs.
You'd feel a lot of it would lie with Johnny Bairstow. You'd have to get a big bulk of them. Mo and Ali, I think enough. His record speaks for itself, really, in terms of what he can do in T20 cricket, and his record in the Blast is phenomenal.
Yep.
Yeah. And predominantly though from the top of the order. He's hurt knots a few times, but from the top of the order.
James Wharton back from Lions duties. He didn't play in the match that's currently on, and so he's got a reprieve to come and play here. It's wide of off stump this next delivery. Oof. And he's wided. James Wharton has had a ton as well at this level, got 100 against Worcestershire at Headingley a couple of seasons ago, which was one heck of a knock that night. He's had a 90 odd down at Taunton in Championship cricket this season, but he'd be the first to admit he's not started as well as he might have done. Just got capped recently.
He's a tall player, isn't he?
Very.
Really tall man. Looks like Ali's trying to get it to swing away, but he's got that one that comes back in. Just did for Luxton.
2 to come in the second over. He's punched that one firmly and he's off the mark.
Oh, wow!
Bairstow's in trouble here. Not out, says umpire Widdop, from square leg to the direct hit. So as it turns out, Johnny at 30 odd is a bit Linford Christie-ish, and he's getting quicker as he goes on. He's managed to get home.
That is phenomenal fielding, Benny Howell. It's punched really firmly into the covers by Wharton. Benny Howell at full strength dived, picked it up and thrown the stumps down. And I think that again is another one that we would need to send upstairs. That was very tight.
Well, you both can see where where I'm sat, and I followed the ball round the other side of the TV monitor, only it didn't appear round the other side of the TV monitor.
13 for 2 then, 1 to come in the second, an eventful second over. Bairstow on 2, he's faced just the 3 so far, and he's driving this one into the covers. Makes a bit of a meal of that one, George Munsey, but he did the job. He stopped a run, and Yorkshire a bit of trouble after 2 overs, 13 for 2.
I just wonder if we can get the chance to see a replay, whatever we've got in the production office of that run out. Just purely for my benefit, as much as anything. 13 for 2 after 2. Extraordinary stuff on offer this evening at Trent Bridge. Notts making 167 for 7. Every time we see a shot of the crowd as well, there's somebody drinking a glass of something cold and very, very inviting.
It's that type of evening, isn't it? It's the type of evening where a nice glass of cold liquid will go down very well.
Pennington from the Stuart Broad end here at Trent Bridge, in now to bowl, and dancing down the track is James Wharton. Didn't get anything on it. We're into the third over and Duckett's still there. I don't know if he said I'll play, but I'm not doing any fielding, or they genuinely feel a thickish outside edge, or even a thinnish outside edge might well come in his direction. As always, is providing lots of input for the skipper, Joe Clark.
Yeah, Jonathan was saying that The England boys love being at slip, don't they?
Pennington in again, strikes Wharton above the knee roll. They'll go through. I think it's a leg bite. It is. One more to the total. You mentioned Jamie Smith having a poor time of it against Harry Brook. Well, the week before, of course, he came here. Surrey played Notts. Came out to bat, Jamie Smith, with Josh Tong, England teammate, and it was clear they'd got a plan for him. Duckett was very much to the fore, having a word with Asiba Mead and Josh Tong. Duckett went in at leg slip. Josh Tong bounced him. Jamie Smith just fended it off his left ear straight into the hands of Duckett at leg slip. You know, if ever there was a wicket set up, that was it. There's Pennington. Now to bowl to Johnny Bairstow. Ooh, an inside edge past the stumps. He'll scamper through. Another shy at the stumps. This time from Muhammad Ali. Narrowly misses. 15 for 2.
It's funny you should say that. George Hill took a great catch at leg slip the other week as well. Similar setup. And last week Yorkshire tried that on Dom Sibley, and he hit it straight to Dom Bess once, twice, 3 times, I think, during either or both innings. I can't remember exactly now. Short-term memory, Kyle. It's already a few days ago.
15 for 2, Yorkshire. 168 is the finishing line. It's there to get the points this evening. This outside, the off stump goes through to Tom Moores. Looks in good rhythm. Dylan Pennington has missed the last 2 county championship games. Had a little bit of a niggle. Didn't make the starting 11 at Southampton last week, but was there throughout the game, and every interval, or certainly the lunch intervals each day, he was out working with Kevin Shine with the white ball, so we knew he was being readied for this. Comes in again, past the umpire, bowls and heaved away onto the leg side, and I think that's going to go the distance. It is indeed, and Wharton has clubbed a 6 into the upper reaches of the Fox Road stand away to our left. That was a nice clean connection, just came onto the bat beautifully, and away it sailed.
Yeah, that's a lovely shot. Just set himself and just almost just rock back and help that on its way into the Fox Road stand. Really, really good shot. That by Wharton.
1 or 2 people sort of duck.
Yeah.
Still going to hit you even if you duck.
It does make me laugh. You take your eye off the ball, you're just in so much trouble.
Yeah. 21 for 2. You come into the cricket, folks. Watch the cricket, watch the ball. This one's cut into the offside. There's no run, end of the over. Benny Howell doing the fielding. We're through 3 overs here at Trent Bridge. This is the start of this season's T20 Blast competition. Notts Outlaws playing Yorkshire in the first match, the first of 12 group games over the next few weeks. We play half a dozen games and then break for 2 championship games, and then we come back for 6 more, and then the 8 teams that progress from the groups go into the knockouts, and then the semi-final and final, they're all within a few days of each other, or rather the quarter-finals and the finals day, all within a few days of each other this time, aren't they? 21 for 2.
Yep, and we thought that it was more difficult to score against spin, but so far Yorkshire find it difficult to score against the seamers here. 3 overs going at 7 apiece. Yorkshire 21 for 2. Playing Notts' 29 for 1 at the same stage, as Ali in and bowling, and Bairstow playing the original line to a ball. Actually did nip on him. Make a note in the diary, a ball nipping in T20.
What game's gone, isn't it? What's that?
Doing all sorts, lads.
Honestly, what's that? He looks really good for a lad that only landed yesterday. Again, I don't know what they're doing on these flights, but maybe I need to fly before I play on Saturday. I don't know. Goodness me. Looks fresh, looks sharp.
They got Hassan Ali and Fareem Ashraf offloaded, apparently, just before he took off.
Well, he certainly applied a very, very dangerous punch in his first over, and of course knocked out the leg pole.
He did.
He's back for round 2. Ding ding. Mo Ali, the outlaw, that is, who's on his way in now to Johnny Bairstow, who tries to flick one away on the leg side. There's a couple of cheers there, as if they thought they might have got a little tickle on it through to Tom Moores, but not the case.
Struggling a little bit, isn't he, Bairstow? It only needs 1 or 2 to come off the middle of the bat and he'll be all right, but 3 from 7 so far.
Yeah, These are kind of, generally speaking, his sort of occasions. Stick a crowd in the place. Preferably the television cameras around as well. Give him the verbals a bit as well out there. Give him something to retaliate against, and then you might be in a bit of trouble. We'll see how we go. At 3 off 7 so far. He's not his quickest start. He's flicking this one away back of square leg for a single. Maybe though also the fact that they lost those 2 early wickets just means he's got a leg by, in fact, not a single there. Maybe it just means he's thinking, I've got to play the longer game here. Like I said, I think certainly tonight Yorkshire's strength would have been with the ball, but they would have backed themselves at the outset to knock these off. But those 2 early wickets certainly make it all the more tricky now.
Levelled things up a little bit. What a lovely shot we just saw then of the ground, the setting sun, the stands almost packed to the rafters. Lovely evening. 22 for 2, as somebody once said. Wharton on strike, and in comes Ali. Ooh, tries to run that one down through third man. Misses out James Wharton, so there's quite a few dots here that Yorkshire will want to avoid. They've still picked up runs off Dylan Pennington, 2 overs for 17 with that wicket, but finding it the devil's own job of getting Mohammed Ali away. Yeah, didn't realise there until we just seen on the monitors the upper deck of this stands open as well. Lots of people up there as well.
It's the first time they've done that for ages.
Yeah. Well done everybody that's come along tonight to support cricket, support the 2 counties.
Yeah, really, really good to see Trent Bridge full and flourishing.
Ali in again, and Wharton's driven this one firmly to mid-off, where they're going to come through for a comfortable single. They haven't really got firing just yet. Run rate required is just shy of 9 already, and they're going at just 6s.
Yeah, Ali's bowled really, really well. Just sort of hasn't gone searching, hasn't gone looking for anything. He knows what his plan is. He'll try swing it away a little bit, and he's obviously got that one that comes back quite sharply. 1 for 4 in his 1.5 overs. Can he get out the last over? He's got a really, really long run up, and he's got an even longer follow through when he bowls a good ball.
Here he is bowling to Bairstow. Slower ball. He's got it away to Duckett, who's wide at a straightish mid-wicket. No run. So another excellent over from Mohammed Ali. 2 overs, no maidens. 1 for 4 has really given his side the advantage Nottinghamshire, I suppose, in these opening 4 overs.
Yeah, definitely. Really, really good start this from Nottinghamshire. Didn't put a score on the board that we're used to, not that we're accustomed to score high scores here at Nottingham Trent Bridge. They've really followed that up well with the ball. 23 for 2. They haven't gone chasing it. They've kept to their normal line and length, and now we're going to see someone that also bowls absolute thunderbolts in Ollie Stone.
Yeah, can bowl rockets. That's one of the most pleasing stories to come out of Trent Bridge so far this year. The form and the fitness, the good health of Ollie Stone comes in and bowls, and his first ball is short, and Wharton was expecting something to be dug in, so he's moved outside his off stump and just helped it on its way, lifting it over Tom Mawson away for 4. So either pitch it shorter or pitch it fuller, Ollie, but that was a nice length for Wharton to play a really good shot, in truth. You've got to give James Wharton a lot of credit there.
Yeah, you've got to give credit where credit's due. Again, really well executed shot. With the pace that Ollie Stone bowls, you don't really have to get much on it. Just a little deflection here, a little deflection there, and it will race away for a boundary.
Into the 5th over, Stone in again. Bowls and slap down the ground. That'll be 4 more. Sometimes you get an inkling of how a spell will go right from the very start here. Sometimes a bowler will come on and he'll get a lucky drag on or a good catch in the field, and it sets them up. Sometimes you come on and do nothing particularly wrong from your first ball, and a little bit of skill, it goes for 4, and then you start to go around the park.
That was a bit a leaf out of Johnny Bairstow's, but wasn't it really? Stand and deliver.
Just stand and deliver.
Came quickly onto the bat, went even quicker off the bat. Stone in again, pulled away onto the leg side, and there's nobody there. Just keep an eye on it in the stand. It's gone for 6 into the Larwood and Vose. And this is a punishing first over from Ollie Stone as far as Yorkshire are concerned. 4-4-6, and Wharton's got 22 from 11.
Yeah, again, just setting himself for the length that Ollie Stone's bowling. He's bowling that back of a length. Wharton going deep into the crease, almost expecting that back of the length and just waiting for it to sit up. Just swinging it away into the leg side. 14 from 3 balls. This is the over that can kickstart Yorkshire's innings.
37 for 2. Stone in again to Wharton, who's winning this battle. Gets this out into the offside, fielded by Howells. Here at Trent Bridge, like one or two scoreboards up and down the country, they keep a running tally of the Duckworth-Lewis score. It's not going to rain, so I'm not mentioning it for that reason, but just gives you a guide. The start of this over, Yorkshire were about 13 behind, I think, where they needed to be. Now they're just about bang on it. Can just change one way or the other. This one's slammed back past Stone down the ground. It's going to be at least a couple. Captain Clark's after it. Joe Clark has to put the slide in. 2 more.
Yeah.
16 from the over so far.
Yeah, 36 for 1 knots after 4 overs. Yorkshire 23 for 2. So quite a big discrepancy in scores at that stage.
And this over will put them quite close to each other, I would have thought. Really, really big over, and still 1 to go.
Yeah, Duckworth-Lewis has it at 42, so Yorkshire, by those reckonings, just a whisker behind, but quite a long way behind at the start of the over. Ollie Stone going for 2 4s and a 6. Tom Moore's the keeper, just directing traffic, just moving his skipper Joe Clark a little straighter. Wharton's got this into the offside and there's no run. So the last 3 balls of the over only went for 2 runs. The first 3 did the damage. Good over for Yorkshire. 39 for 2 after 5.
Yep, really big over, really good batting from Wharton, just setting himself up for that natural length that Ollie Stone bowls, which is that into the wicket, hard back of a length, and sat back in the crease, and as Jonathan said, just a bit of stand and deliver, good old-fashioned stand and deliver works in T20 cricket. Big over that, 39 for 2.
Yep, at the same stage, Nottinghamshire were 47 for 1, so still behind the game, Yorkshire, at this moment. That was, though, the most expensive over in the match so far tonight. 14 off George Hill's, the 3rd over of the Nottinghamshire innings, the best that the Outlaws came up with. Benny Howell into the attack at the Radcliffe Road end of the ground then. And they're going to close in from the offside here with a man out on the mid-wicket boundary. That's Howell in from, as I say, the Radcliffe Road end. First ball is smashed down the ground by Bairstow and will go all the way for 6 runs over long off. Good evening, Benny.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to a little bit of a taste of your own medicine, Benny Howell. Just slightly over pitch, looked like a bit of a knuckleball out the front of the hand and just over pitched. Johnny Bairstow doesn't need any invitation.
Here comes Howell again then. Bairstow this time goes back foot but doesn't get good contact. I think drags it really back into the follow through with the bowler.
It was a great shot there of the people on the front row ducking again and diving for cover as the ball was coming towards them.
Final power play over, of course, this. 45 for 2. Bairstow with that 6 on the 9 from 11 deliveries so far, and he's pushing this one, and they're going to take on the field, which is up inside the circle throughout the left hand side there to the right hander. Extra cover fielding that, 1 run. Nottinghamshire, well, they finished the power play 53 for 2, so they lost a 2nd wicket at this point. And in comes Howell again. Shadows now being cast by the floodlights. He's smashed this one. James Wharton down the ground. There is Ben Duckett though at long on. They're coming back for a second. James Wharton is pretty quick across the ground, but Johnny Bairstow was coming down to the danger end, and managed to get home comfortably. 2 runs to James Wharton.
Notts had a poor second after their innings though, it has to be said. Howell got some away in the last 2 or 3 overs, but from where they were, nicely poised at the halfway stage, they certainly fell away and didn't get as many as as they'd have been hoping.
Nottinghamshire just got to 50 at this point, 5.4 overs. Yorkshire 48 for 2, and they're going to be a ball or two behind as that's punched down to duck it long on for a single by James Wharton. He seems to be timing it quite nicely at the moment, James. 27 off 16. Partnership now worth 38. If you're joining us more recently, the Yorkies were 11 for 2. Adam Lythe for 4 and Will Luxton for 5, the 2 dismissed batters so far. Final ball of the power play then. Howell bowling it to Johnny Bairstow, who's flicked it away to short fine leg. James Wharton was quickly off the mark and they've got through for 1. So 50 for 2 Yorkshire after 6.
Yep, that's a really good over that again for Yorkshire. Really, really tight at the moment between both sides. We say it's been pretty even throughout the entirety of the game today. We're just having a look at the worm on the left hand side, and Yorkshire had dipped well below where they were, but pretty much exactly the same as where Notts were at this exact stage. So Yorkshire 50 for 2 at the end of the power play, and we're going to see spin for the first time in the Nottinghamshire innings.
Joe Pocklington, left arm spinner, to bowl the 7th over. 27 runs have come from the last 2 overs, punishing a couple of sets from the Notts bowlers there, going round the park. Wharton in particular really looking in good order. There is Joe Pocklington then. His first ball in T20 cricket at this level. This is Bairstow dropping it on the leg side and they take a single. Of course they all play lots of T20 games, don't they? They've only recently had a series of second 11 T20 games as sort of a warm-up programme up and down the country. Most of the counties have been involved in that, just to get a number of players back involved in this format. This is dropped on the leg side. Of course in club cricket, evening league cricket, there's been a lot of 20 over cricket over the years. A lot of 12 8-ball overs in Nottinghamshire. It's sort of the evening cricket I always played. Didn't usually stay light enough to get 40 overs in on a night, as this has turned on the leg side for a single. 53 for 2. Evening club cricket in South Africa, that a thing?
Not really. It's more your Saturdays and Sundays. You've got a lot of school cricket during the week in South Africa. School cricket's massive up and down the country.
Pocklington bowls to Wharton, drops it again on the leg side, which is set deep, takes another single.
A lot of the time in South Africa it was school cricket on the Saturday, and then we'd go and play Premier League cricket back in Johannesburg on the Sunday. That's how my time went in the summer.
Pocklington bowls down the leg side, I think. Let's have a look. No, he must have just brushed Bairstow's pad. He didn't seem to be too enamoured by the non-decision. Johnny Bairstow, maybe he's fine. Maybe he's absolutely happy and chuckling to himself. 54 for 2. He's going to chuckle if he can clear the rope on the leg side. He can't, just didn't go through with the shot properly there. 55 for 2. Bairstow 14, Wharton has 29. 7 overs now through. Joe Pocklington's first over went for 5 runs. Neither here nor there really. He's put the brakes on the big hitting scoring of the 2 previous overs, but not desperate for a breakthrough.
Yeah, good first over. I thought that from Joe. Really, really nice change of pace, firing it a little bit quicker, going a little bit slower and shorter. Really nice start. There would have been nerves there. First T20 Blast game at home. So really, really well settled into that. Benny Howell to continue. These are the middle overs that Notts will want to control. Howell bowling his variations and spin from the other end.
Yeah, 2 men set back at a square and at cow corner on the leg side, but neither coming into play. That's a lovely, deft little reverse sweep by Johnny Bairstow. Met the ball on the half volley and just flicked it away in the gap that was originally between keeper and third man.
Not sure what the crowd noise is. It's almost, you know, if it was Joe Root batting, you'd think they were booing. You know, the Root, which sounds like a boo. I'm not sure what it is at the moment that they're shouting. Not really had too much in the way of the old Sweet Carolines or the Mexican Wave or anything yet. They're all watching the cricket.
Howell to Bairstow, plays this one down to long on, will pick up one run. He's not really got going yet. He's not properly timed anything Johnny Bairstow style as it was last weekend, but he's 19 off as many deliveries. I think we'd all be quite happy if we could be going at one a ball and maybe not hitting it as crisply as we can.
That's the danger, isn't it? He's got probably another 4 gears that he can go up, and that's the worrying side for Notts.
Howell to Wharton, who bangs this one into the deck in front of him and loops up back to the bowler. Yorkshire have never been in front in their chase so far, barring the end of the first over when they were, but otherwise they're clawing it back, but they're still behind. 5 runs behind, for example, where Nottinghamshire were at the end of the last over, and we're halfway through this one. 60 for 2. Wharton on strike on 29. Just falls over this one slightly. Now he's in trouble if there's a direct hit here. There wasn't. Tom Moores was out quickly, but it's always that little bit of a rush, isn't it? And can you get the direct hit? He got the throw off, but didn't quite make the direction. Third wicket partnership of 50 from 36 deliveries. 29 of them to James Wharton, 17 to the man on strike now, the Yorkshire captain, Johnny Bairstow. 2 to come in the 8th. Howell bowls it now. Looks like it's out of the back of the hand.
He's got loads. He's got a knuckleball out the back, off cutter. He just bowls loads of different types of variations. Just a bag of tricks is Benny Howell.
And that a dot. Welcome dot. 61 for 2. 1 to come in the 8th. At this point, 69 for 2 Nottinghamshire. And Yorkshire are going to finish at 61 for 2, so getting further behind with a dot ball once again there. Really good over by Benny Howell. 2 overs for 16 for him. And Nottinghamshire still just having the edge here.
11 runs have come from the last 2 overs, just putting the brakes on for the last few minutes. But you can imagine one or both of these are just going to try and increase the tempo now.
Yeah, you think this over's a big one. They won't let the young spinner settle. One of them will try and get a boundary quite early here.
There's Pocklington in again, and Wharton dances down the track. It's sort of skewed a little bit off the outside portion of the bat and finds its way down on the bounce to long off. Who's that in the distance? That's Jack Haynes in front of the Batman board. There's Pocklington in again. This has helped away on the leg side for 4. More than helped, it was smoked away with authority. Really lovely shot. Yeah. No, it's Ollie Stone who's down in the distance, and Jack Haynes out there to our right.
And that was bludgeoned by Johnny Bairstow. He's got down on one knee and absolutely thumped it away to the leg side. It is a short leg side boundary. I don't think anyone was getting there, even if it was another 15 yards further back.
There's Pocklington, and this one's helped away with the slog sweep from Johnny Bairstow for another 6 into the Fox Road stand. And just as we were surmising, they decided after that little chat before the start of this over that it was just time just to get the board moving again, found a little more momentum.
Yeah, that's a great shot. Something had to give. They couldn't just let the spinner bowl. Had to try take him on a little bit. And Johnny Bairstow's really now slowly but surely putting the accelerator down. That was a lovely pick-up sweep shot.
72 for 2. Pocklington bowls a reverse. Is it going to go all the way? Oh, not quite.
Nearly.
Couple of yards, maybe just a yard and a half short of the boundary rope. Bairstow getting a boundary 4, but it was very nearly a reverse sweep for 6.
It just feels like, doesn't it? And we're going to try and put some pressure on him this over. You know, his first T20 game. Johnny's played 100 Test matches and who knows how many white ball internationals. Let's just give it a try.
Exactly. You can't let a spinner set, so you've got to try put him under as much pressure, and the sweeps tend to do that the most.
Pocklington in again. Bairstow has taken his toll during the course of this over, just pushes this along the ground for a single, down to Ollie Stone, front of the pavilion. 77 for 2. Joe Pocklington's now gone for 21 runs from his 11 balls. The only frontline spinner in the Notts side this evening. Decided to leave Farhan Ahmed out. Another single taken. 78 for 2 after 9. And again, if you just make the comparison with the Duckworth-Lewis score, Yorkshire about 10 runs ahead right now. 78 for 2.
They might be 10 runs ahead, but they're still 1 run behind where Nottinghamshire were at the same stage. So there's still definitely very much hope for the Outlaws. If they could see the back of Johnny Bairstow and James Wharton, the game changes complexion once again. And even though, in this innings we've had the 2 biggest overs in terms of runs from them, Ollie Stone's 16 and now that's 17 off Joe Pocklington. Nottinghamshire still just that 1 run advantage at the same stage. Ollie Stone back into the attack.
He'll be hoping for a much better start. He went, as he said, went for 16 in his first over. Maybe with a bigger leg side boundary, that length that he bowls might be a bit more difficult to get away.
Putting it to Wharton, who's got underneath his first one. He's opened the face and got it away backward of point, and that will be 4. So gets off to a good start in the over. Wharton on to 35. He'd been caught up and passed by Johnny Bairstow.
Yeah, these two the first in the match to go beyond 30. Benny Howell top scorer for Notts with exactly 30.
Partnership now worth 71 from 45 deliveries.
Yeah, but a bit too much width there from Ollie Stone, just allowing Wharton to throw the bat at it.
And he drops his bat on this one, and he's going to find a gap in the offside to get through for a single. So good play, boundary, rotate the strike. 85 needed off 64.
And it's difficult to stop that, isn't it? You don't want to bring people in ridiculously close. You want to give them more of a chance to be on the ring to potentially save the hard hit shot that's on its way to the boundary. But it is frustrating for the bowler when they just drop it and run like that.
Yeah, nothing more frustrating, but when you sat on the ring, there's an easy single everywhere, really.
Here's Stone again. Bairstow, lovely shot by Johnny Bairstow. Is he going to go all the way? It does easily go all the way down to the foot of the pavilion. A scooped 6, and he's on to 40, and Yorkshire now 89 for 2.
Not been Ollie Stone's night, has it? He didn't get the chance to get out there with the bat, and he's not yet bowled 2 overs, and he's already gone for 3 maximums? 2 maximums, none for 27 from 9 balls.
Yeah, he's going around here. Change of the field, mid-off in, fine leg out.
Stone in again. Bairstow this time tries to stand and deliver, and doesn't deliver much other than a miss through to Tom Moores.
Yeah, you see the way Tom took it though. He sort of almost knocked him off his feet. That was certainly the effort ball from Ollie Stone.
Yeah.
89 for 2. The halfway point, Nottinghamshire were 82 for 3. So this 10th over wasn't particularly productive for them. So Yorkshire have moved in front, if you like, in the comparison stakes at this point. As Bairstow down the ground, he's going to pick up at least 1. Wharton's quick. He's coming back for a second, and they're going to get there comfortably. In the end, Benny Howell unable to cut off the second. 91 for 2. Bairstow on to 42, and it's only 5 minutes or so, it feels like, since we're saying he's not quite getting hold of these like he wants to.
That's how quickly the really good, the great players can change a game that fast.
Maybe he has got used to the pace of the pitch. Let's see how he continues from here as he misses this delivery that's dragged down the leg side. So though does Tom Moores. They've come back for 2, so 2 useful buys to go with the wide, and still 1 ball, legitimate ball, remaining in the first half of this Yorkshire innings. 94 for 2. Just to repeat, Nottinghamshire 82 for 3 at the halfway stage. James Wharton's calling for a drink. We may have a stoppage after this delivery. Briefly.
Yeah, Yorkshire run rate up at 9.5. The run rate that's required has dropped down to low 7s now, so well above where they need to be.
Bairstow steps a long way away to leg to play this ball that was following him from Ollie Stone. Intelligent bit of bowling to finish the over off, but he's gone for 32 off 2 overs, Ollie Stone. Both of his overs have gone for precisely 16, and Nottinghamshire can't afford that. No team can.
Just whilst we've got a moment or two halfway through the 10 overs, the other teams in the North Group all playing tonight. Derbyshire and Durham playing each other just down the A52. Durham made 203 for 8 from their 20 overs. Derbyshire 107 for 4, so they need almost 100 from the last 8 overs. The other 2 sides in the North group are playing sides from the other groups. I tried to explain it a little earlier. Leicestershire at home to Worcestershire. Worcestershire 188 for 9. Leicestershire, who are in the same group as Notts and Yorkshire, 64 for 3. And Lancashire, I'm sure there's a number of people out there who will enjoy this score. Surrey 213 for 6 from 20 overs. Lancashire 59 for 5 in the 7th over. Notts face Lancashire at Old Trafford on Monday. There's Dylan Pennington. So halfway through the innings, Yorkshire 94 for 2, needs 74 from 60 balls. Overwhelming favourites at the moment as Pennington's bowled a delivery outside the off stump. Wharton's missed it. It kept low and it's gone straight between Tom Moore's gloves and pads and for 4 byes.
That is very frustrating. And that in this situation, that's not what Notts need. They need to just be a little bit tidy. Unfortunately, that
not making football.
No.
4 byes in cricket. Straight between his legs. 98 for 2. Pennington in again. Bowls. Wharton's hit this one up into the air. Mohamed Ali comes round. Won't be able to get to it. And a single ensues. 99 for 2.
Yeah, complete miscue from James on. He got right underneath it. I think spliced it.
Yeah. Got again probably to his benefit.
Yeah.
Lands in the middle of nowhere.
If you're having a bad trot, that probably just got enough on it to go to hand, doesn't it? Yeah.
Or you hit it straight up. It's crazy how cricket works.
69 required from just 58. Pennington now into Bairstow. That'll be a wide. It is very full, but outside that guideline. That's there for the umpires. 1 more to the total, and almost a complete indifference inside Trent Bridge. The Yorkshire 100 comes up, 100 for 2 at the start of the 11th over.
12.1 it took Nottinghamshire to get to the 3 figures.
Yeah,
might need the crowd to get involved here. Need something to lift them as Bairstow heaves this out to deep mid wicket just for a single. 101 for 2.
That was a bit rude, wasn't it, from Big Bad Blue, as George Hill was calling him to me on an interview yesterday.
That's a brilliant nickname. That's a very, very good nickname. Johnny Bairstow looking to just hit that straight down the ground early on it, and casual as you like, just hacks it away to deep mid wicket.
He dragged it like you do your suitcase through the airport.
Wharton has 37. He's at this crisply good stop from Ollie Stone, diving full length at mid off. Had the presence of mind, the wherewithal just to quickly get to his feet and shy at the non-strikers. Wharton safely home on 38, 102 for 2.
It's great fielding. Full stretch from the big fast bowler. One hand stop, pick up and shy. Really, really good work. Notts have been good in the field.
Ground suddenly feels a bit flat, doesn't it? There's a sense of realisation amongst the home supporters, I think. Not had any clarion calls to get behind the boys and start singing. As Pennington bowls again, it's wide-ish, and yes, it's signalled as wide. Dylan Pennington just accepts his fate, starts the march back to deliver that one again. 103 for 2. Yorkshire requires 65 from 56 deliveries here on BBC Radio Nottingham, on online as well as on the FM stations, coming to all our good friends in Yorkshire online. And we're on the live stream on the pictures. This one slapped down the ground with absolute menace by Johnny Bairstow. Just dismissed that one from his presence and away for 4 more.
If you were going to advertise T20 cricket, this would not be the over that you'd pick, would it, to try and sell the game?
No.
Messed up 4 byes, a couple of rude shots, a few singles. He's smashed that one down the ground, okay, but yeah, just a bit messy this over.
Yeah, you're not selling cricket really well. But I tell you who is the way Johnny Bairstow sort of showed that you don't have to go out there, and he was 3 off 9 balls, and currently he is 47 off 31. Really quick and easy to catch up.
Can he get his 50 here? He can. Just opens the face and runs it away down to third. for another Johnny Bairstow 50. Delightfully played there. Just worked Dylan Pennington in that over, and he stands with his bat held aloft. Look at that. He's taking the accolade of everybody around Trent Bridge. 50 for Johnny Bairstow, coming up from 30 deliveries, 111 for 2.
Yeah, really good batting, Johnny Bairstow. As I was saying, took his time to get in, struggled a little bit early on, and then really almost got going off the bowling of Benny Howell when he hit him straight over his head for 6. Caught up really quickly and sort of turned the tide. But for all you superstitious folks listening out there, if you're a Notts fan, you hope that Nelson might get the wicket. If you're a Yorkshire fan, your legs are in the air.
Here's Benny Howell. James Wharton tries to play the reverse sweep. The bails have been removed by Tom Moores, but unmoved at square leg, Simon Widdop.
Never did see that replay of the Bairstow run out. It doesn't make any difference. He's not out, but I just wonder how close Notts were to getting rid of him, and now Bairstow's gone on to get the first half century of the match. I mean, fine margins.
Yeah, Howell again. It's full, good delivery, and hammered into the deck by Wharton, who can't get it past the ball. That's the second time he's taken one goalkeeper style above his head.
Yeah, that's good bowling from Benny Howell, nice and full.
Lady there on the back of the picture in the live stream there, a pint in each hand. Well balanced young lady.
Yeah, she's definitely got her priorities right.
Howell again. Wharton this time takes the sense prevails approach and rotates the strike with a single down to long on. He's on to 39 and was very much the senior partner in this partnership, which is now 101 from 59 deliveries.
Yeah, they've gone really well. Yorkshire losing 2 quick wickets, and now these two have just really put them right in the driver's seat. Need 56 or 51 balls.
Howell to Bairstow. He was already out with the reverse sweep long before the ball was delivered, and he's picked up a single from it. Mo Ali doing the fielding up inside the circle.
Wonder what he makes of it. His first, as far as I can see, his first appearance in England. Not had the chance to have a natter with him yet, but I can't see anything on his career record to suggest he's played here before. Certainly not played, any of the county game or any internationals in this country.
2 to come in the 12th, and Wharton again goes long down to long on. Fielded and returned for the concession of 1.
Notts assistant head coach Paul Franks has coached for 2 or 3 of our winters in Pakistan, and I know he's been sort of the one that's negotiated all this and very much championed his cause.
But over so far from Howell. Can he get out?
No,
just is the answer to that. It was a tantalising teaser on the boundary edge out there for Ben Duckett, and full length dive. Had he been Lyndon James, he might have got the arm there, but just that little bit shorter, Ben. And Bairstow finishes the over with a boundary, so 7 off it in the end. And Kyle, you said a few overs ago Nottinghamshire will want to win these middle overs. Well, the 9th went for 17, the 10th went for 16, the 11th for 17 as well. It's not been a good little spell. No,
and in regards to, if you control the middle overs in T20 cricket, a lot of the time you put a lot of pressure on, you get a lot of false shots, and that results in you being able to take wickets at regular intervals, which means that they don't get the scores of 180, 190, 200. Notts have really struggled with that. I was wondering when Mo Ali would be brought back. I thought he was absolutely superb at the top of the order, and this is a play from Captain Joe Clark to go, listen, we need a wicket. This is the time that we can blow the game right open, put a little bit of pressure on the Yorkshire middle order.
The difference is Wharton and Bairstow were nicely set. They weren't at the start of the innings, and first ball is helped to make 6 runs. Banged in short again. We saw that with Ollie Stone, didn't we? His first delivery, Wharton was ready for that, moved across his stumps, and he flicked that one over the keeper's head off Stone. This time he's helped it all the way over long leg for 6. Really impressive stroke.
That's phenomenal batting. That's gone a country mile off the bat there. Mo Ali is not slow, and Wharton has picked that up beautifully. He moves to 46 or 32.
Fabulous shot. Mo Ali 1 for 4 from 2 overs. Went for 6 runs from that one delivery alone. 124 for 2. Yorkshire only need 44. They've still got 47 balls in which to get it. They're winning this in a hurry. And as Mo Ali comes in again to bowl to Wharton, slower ball, took the pace off. It's turned away onto the leg side, out to Joe Pocklington for a single. 125 for 2. 43 needed from 46.
Yeah, I think we potentially haven't seen a lot of that from the Nottinghamshire bowlers. Slower balls into the wicket, taking the pace off. I think that's an area that potentially could pay a bit, could be quite a big benefit for them. Wouldn't go pace on here to Johnny Bairstow.
It actually looks like a road, doesn't it?
It looks like a flat one, doesn't it? Yeah.
125 for 2. Here comes Ali again to bowl to Johnny Bairstow. Bowls to him now. Low full toss, hit out into the offside and away. Penetrated the inner ring. There was a fielder out on the offside, but couldn't get anywhere near it. And another Johnny Bairstow boundary. Terrific shot. Jack Haynes has to go and face the ball.
Yeah, his half century, by the way, fellas. It's 35th in T20 cricket to go with 5 tons he scored previously. Never managed a T20 international ton, but he got 10 halves for England.
Such a destructive batter, really is. Hits it so hard, so intimidating to bowl at as well.
He'd have to score every run here and even then manufacture it nicely for himself at the end if he was to get 100 here. He's going to get one more, dragging this onto the leg side. 130 for 2. I think he'll just be content with getting on the Yorkshire coach with the points. Heading back north with a played 1-1-1 record.
Most definitely. He's moved to 61 of 36. Wharton within a single strike of reaching his half century, not to be sniffed at that. He's 47 of 33. This partnership has really taken the game completely and utterly away from Notts.
The women's match went the way of the Blaze earlier, defeating Yorkshire in the final over. 3 balls to spare. Really good game, that one. Yorkshire going to get their revenge in the man's game. This is banged in short. I just wondered what that came off. I wonder if it was potentially the grill. He's okay, they've run the single. I think, yeah, square leg umpire Michael Goff, he's all over this, just asking for the concussion protocol procedure to begin. Out will come the physio, out will come a spare helmet and everything. There was practically no pace on it by the time it hit the helmet of James Wharton, but Johnny Bairstow's very happy because he can take his own helmet off and ask for a drink to be brought out for him as well. 131 for 2. 1 ball left in the 13th.
Yeah, Alyssa Dibley, I think she is known locally as the Vicar, is the Yorkshire physio. She's out there in the middle administering the necessary.
Yeah, looks like a really good wicket out there. Johnny Bairstow has made it look phenomenal. Wharton's played very, very well. See this all the time now, don't we, where any sort of contact with the helmet, no matter if it's at lightning speed or if it's an underarm throw, physio has to come out, ask questions like, do you know where you are, how old are you, what's your name, I don't know. They ask the most simple questions.
Yeah. Would you like to tackle that man in your case? And you just go, no way,
no chance,
tackle that man.
No thank you, that's not for me. I'll do the attacking play. That was the best part of rugby for me. I love the attacking side of rugby. Wasn't a massive fan of the defensive side of it. Yeah.
Tom would be happy at the moment anyway, saying it's top of the table.
Yeah, they are. They're playing good. They're playing proper rugby at the moment.
There we go.
You are listening to T20 Vitality Blast Cricket, folks, by the way, from Trent Bridge.
You are indeed. Yeah, for all the Leeds Rhino fans there. Spent a year in Yorkshire myself. Been to many.
So who did he
Rhinos
play for, your granddad?
Played for St Helens.
And South Africa.
And South Africa, yes. South Africa prior to moving over to England to play for St Helens.
Final ball of this over. Mo Ali to Johnny Bairstow, who's clubbed this down the ground for 4 more. A little bit of a procession now, I'm afraid, as far as Notts are concerned. All these boundaries, that over 6-1, 4-1, the leg bye that came off the helmet and a 4, and Mo Ali has now gone for 20 runs from his 3 overs. Really explosive delivery early on to bowl Will Luxton. Pitched up Yorker that removed the leg stump. Just one of 2 wickets that Notts have taken. Dylan Pennington with the other one, Adam Lythe driving into the hands of Ollie Stone early on.
Yeah, going back to spin. Pocklington from the Radcliffe Road end. Wharton 47. And I will be very surprised. His over of 17 almost kick-started the real big fight back from Yorkshire, if they don't try and play him in a similar fashion. Big leg side boundary now though. Nothing but a full connection will do to clear that side.
And the other thing though to say, Kyle, is that they've done the hard work here already, so there's no need for them to do anything stupid now, as James Wharton tries to scoop over the top of Tom Moores but makes a bit of a hash of it. Wharton on 47. Partnership has been excellent as far as the Yorkies go, worth 124 off just 69 deliveries. Pocklington left arm round the wicket, and Wharton just chisels this one out into the offside. George Munsey doing the fielding. Yeah, I mean, back to those big overs, they're still coming out. There's been little to stem the tide as Wharton plays it down the ground to long on for a single. The 9th over 17, 10th over 16, 11th over 17. Benny Howell looked like he might have an over that was going for 3 or 4, then went for 4 off the last ball. That went for 7, but that was a little bit of respite, and then 17 again in the previous Mo Ali over. So, you know, by Yorkshire standards with the bat, this would be a good night. And I've watched many T20 games. They don't have the better of many in that respect, as Bairstow plays one down the ground to long off, picks up a single. 66 off 38 for YJP. 2 to come in the 14th. Pocklington in again and fires that one in much quicker. Wharton's got it away though, out to Lyndon James, patrolling the cover boundary. 1 run.
This is now where you need to get out the over. The over's gone for 3. Can he get out with a single dot ball? Be really good.
Yep, from Yorkshire's point of view, it doesn't really matter, does it? Now that he's played across this one, there is an appeal. Not sure whether he got any contact onto his pad or not, but Michael Goff not interested. End of the over then. Just the 4 runs coming from that one, so it was a good effort by Joe Pocklington, but Yorkshire can do this in singles if they want to do it that way now, Kyle.
Yeah, they most certainly can. The hard work has been done. They need less than a runner ball now. Almost becomes one of those put the bad ball away and tick over. 29 needed off 36 balls. Wharton 1 away from his half century, and Johnny Bairstow fantastic for his 65.
It's the Yorkshire 3rd wicket record against Notts in T20 cricket. The previous record 101. AJ Hodd, and was that Andrew Hodd, wicket-keeper? And a certain GJ Maxwell. That was at Headingley in 2015. Yes, I can remember Notts being Maxwelled on that particular occasion. Yorkshire winning by 40 runs 11 years or so ago. Yorkshire getting 209 for 4. Hodd 70, Maxwell 92 not out. On this occasion, the new record will belong to Wharton and Bairstow. Gone well past it, by the way. 128 from 74 so far. New Yorkshire 3rd wicket record in T20 against Notts. There won't be that many bigger 3rd wicket partnerships, I would imagine, this season. 139 for 2. Here comes Pennington back into the attack. Bowls, and Wharton will get himself another 6. That's maybe the biggest of the night, certainly the highest. And again, it's found the upper tier of the Fox Road stand, but that went very high indeed. 6 more.
That has gone very high to the moon. Just helped it on his way, didn't he, Johnny Bairstow?
Bairstow, by the way, I think I said Wharton. Bairstow.
Yeah, classic Johnny Bairstow again. Helping it over. Deep square leg on the leg side. He moves to 73 of 40 balls. Remember, this will really help Yorkshire's net run rate here. The more quicker they chase this down.
Pennington in again to Johnny Bairstow. And he's hit this one back over the bowler's head. Is it going to plug? Yeah, it did a little bit, didn't skip on, but they'll come back for 2. Yorkshire winning this in an absolute canter now. They need 21 from 34.
If the cameraman can just zone in on about row H, I think it is Buzz Aldrin who is back there in the Fox Road stand.
That's brilliant.
Played well, hasn't he, Bairstow? 75 from 41. Pennington bowls are wide. Doesn't matter how well Johnny Bairstow's playing, he's not going to be able to reach those. Ground where he's got some big runs in the past. Double 100 here. I think it was his first century in first-class cricket, and he went on to turn it into a double. It's a long time ago now, 2011 or 12. Batted for a long time with another young fella. I don't know what happened to him, Joe Root. I think he was out in the 90s that day. Bairstow mistimes this one. Down the ground for a single, 149 for 2. And as Jonathan said at the start, the last memory we both have of Johnny Bairstow playing on this ground was taking his pads off and having a bowl with the Kookaburra ball last summer. 149 for 2.
Yeah, and that Kookaburra thriller on the hybrid pitch. Not.
Goodness me. Who's ever decided to do that?
Wharton needs 1 for his 50. Thoroughly deserved when it comes. Pennington to serve it up for him. He's hit it through the offside. Yeah, the diving stone can't get there. 4 more. And we are very, very close now to the final act of this one. Yorkshire only need 15 more. And they've still got more than 5 overs to do it. And James Wharton goes to a splendid 50. 53 from 39 balls. He's hit 4 fours and 3 sixes. Been at the crease 4 minutes shy of an hour.
4th blast 50 to go with that 100 I mentioned against Worcestershire a couple of seasons ago.
Pennington into Bolton. This is scooped up in the air. I think it's going to fall safe. It will indeed. Mo Ali in the vicinity, but not close enough. And he'll come back for 2 more.
Yeah, Wharton played that lap shot quite well this evening. That time just not quite getting the timing right, and that went really, really high. Mo Ali would never any danger of catching that. Always running away from him, but just another example of Wharton just picking his options well and backing what his strengths are.
It's funny, we were only talking the other day about I'll mention it because Pennington's going to bowl now to Wharton, and he's played a reverse and he's nicked it behind, I think, on the reverse. A very unglamorous way to get out for James Wharton, having got his 50. Most batters like to celebrate the moment with another shot of absolute supreme precision. Wharton opted to try and play a reverse, and he's just feathered it down the wrong side, if you like, as a left-hander. He's feathered it down his leg side, and Tom Moores has taken it. Pennington with the wicket. Wharton out, caught Moore's ball. Pennington 55, 41 balls, 4 fours, 3 sixes. It's a 3rd wicket for Notts, but far too late to influence things.
Yeah, really fantastic knock there from Wharton. Him and Johnny Bairstow, that innings has just changed the game. He walks in with Yorkshire in all sorts of trouble, and he leaves Trent Bridge this evening having all but won Yorkshire the game.
144 run 3rd wicket partnership then will, as you say, be the new record against Nottinghamshire for the 3rd wicket for the Yorkies.
Yeah.
Take some beating that just in general this season or years to come.
Point I was just about to make before James Wharton rudely interrupted me by getting out was we were only talking the other day. There seems to be even fewer batters out there in the professional game using that bat with the red stripe, the one that we all know that at one time there'd be 6 or 7 or 8 players in most county sides that would go out to bat with the one with the red stripe. But James Wharton doing a little bit for his bat manufacturer there with a splendid innings. Mo Ali to come back. He bowled 2 tight overs from this end, 1 expensive over from the far end. Now he's back at the Radcliffe Road end, and this could be the last over for JD to describe. 13 needed.
Yep, 16 off that Pennington over. Again, he's going to hurt you, so that's something that the Outlaws will want to be working on. going forward, but still 11 matches to sort yourselves out in this one, as Johnny Bairstow gets a fairly sharp delivery there from Mo Ali and played it to short third man. Inspects the bat somewhere down near the bottom. Don't think he hit it down there, but he's asking for a change. Last time I can recall him doing this in the middle of a T20. It was in the middle of a T20 innings at Worcester one night. He got 57 on the board, limping around, and he just smacked it out of the park for 57 more with a different bat. 114 about 3 years ago probably.
One or two starting to drift away. I've sensed, I think, for a while, the inevitable outcome.
Ali to Bairstow, bangs this one into the pitch. Johnny tries the ramp. It's cost him his wicket a couple of times in Championship cricket in the non too distant past, but he didn't make contact this time. Dot ball.
Yeah, I think he feels that he's missed out there, this old Johnny Bairstow. Third man up in the ring, short one outside off stump, and I think he's thought, just help this on its way. Everything else I've touched today has turned to gold. Why not that?
Yeah, striking at 176 here. With the exception of Benny Howell, that'd be the best in that respect in the match. And here comes Ali, and Johnny goes to mid-off with this one, again taking one hand off the bat and still checking the base of it and still asking for another bat. He's got a single. 12 to win.
How bad do you think that bat is? And this is the best part, isn't it? They walk out with about only 2 bats, modest 2 bats.
Yeah, Yash Vagadia has taken him on. He was in the squad but hasn't played tonight. Johnny seems happy enough. It's not bad, is it, if you can get 77 off 45? I don't think I'd be swapping that bat, fellas.
No, I'd be. I think I'd still have that one.
Must have cracked, mustn't it?
Yeah, so he's at non-striking end, and to face his first delivery in Yorkshire colours, it's Mo Ali to Mo Ali, and that's turned into the leg side, and there is no run. So Nottinghamshire's Mo winning that initial little battle. Moeen, well, what a player he's been. It's good to see him back on the field of play, I've got to say. He's entertained us, hasn't he? For Worcestershire, got a double 100 and 9 wickets in my trial game as commentator, actually, at Scarborough, Yorkshire against Worcestershire back in 2018. So he's certainly hurt Yorkshire before. Great play for Warwickshire and of course for England, World Cup winner.
Yeah, he's a fantastic cricketer. Been there, done it, and got the t-shirt, hasn't he?
Here comes Ali to bowl to Ali, and it's the Yorkshire version this time that wins, because he's just lofted that beyond the grasp of the diving Joe Clark in the covers, and he's got 4 through extra.
That's a lovely shot. Not a bad ball at all, but he's given himself a little bit of room and thrown his hands through it. A diving Joe Clark at extra cover couldn't get near that. Struck it so well.
Why would you want to retire when you can play shots like that?
Crazy.
One to come in the 16th, and just 8 runs for Yorkshire to start the Blast campaign with the points. And in comes Ali once again then. Mohammed, that is, to Moeen, but it's down the leg side through to the gloves of Tom Moores, and so Michael Goff signals a wide.
Yeah, they both start the campaign obviously playing against each other and end the campaign playing against each other at Headingley in July.
Is that a Sunday game or a Friday night game? Can't
That's
remember.
a very good question.
It'll be a Sunday, won't it, if it's the last match, I suppose, because it's Friday, Sunday for most teams, most weeks. I know you said you're playing Bank Holiday Monday, aren't you, at Old Trafford?
Yeah.
So lengthy over this one, and Muhammad Ali 1 for 26. It's his final delivery of the night. If it's legit, and it is, worked off the hip by Moeen down to long leg. He'll pick up a single, and Yorkshire will need a half dozen from just 4 overs.
Sunday the 12th of July the sides meet at Headingley. At the moment it's a time to be confirmed.
You would think it'd be a slightly earlier kick-off, wouldn't it, around 2 o'clock?
Yes, they just want to make sure that going into the last day that all the teams are playing or starting at the same time. Wouldn't necessarily want to give somebody an obvious advantage playing a little later on in the day, knowing what sort of run rate they've got to achieve or what have you to go through. It's going to be Benny Howell. There's 6 required, JD, so you might as well see your boys home.
Okie dokie. So 162 for 3. Moeen, can he start his first game for Yorkshire with the winning runs, perhaps? Not with that delivery. He's worked it off his legs, though. Down to Dylan Pennington, who's at short fine leg. They'll get a single. And it's one of those T20 games, isn't it, where we haven't had a thriller. It looked in the first half of the Yorkshire innings like we might get one, but it was that partnership that's killed it.
Yeah, a lot of empty white seats now.
Yeah, they're all drifting up into Bridgeford, to the high street. I can imagine.
Hitting the bars, Kyle?
Potentially.
Maybe you later. Here's Howell to Bairstow, who has got that one away through backward point. Duckett is sweeping. They're going to come back for a second and they're going to have to get the hurry up on, but they get there in time. Johnny, your team needs 3 to win it, and he's on 79 from 46. It's been a cracking knock. To say that he didn't look like he'd picked up the pace of the pitch for quite a while out there tonight, but he's stuck around, and that's been the key. And if you do, you give yourself every chance of doing that. 3 needed by Yorkshire. And is it going to come here? That is it going to be it. Yep, it's away through backward point come third man, and Bairstow's boundary takes him to 83. Yorkshire to 169 for 3, and a 7-wicket win with 3.5 overs to spare. I do not think is what anybody would have been expecting on their way down from Yorkshire today, but after a miserable record here at Trent Bridge, well, they've won 3 of the last 4 matches between the sides down here now, and they've started well this evening.
Yeah, I don't think anybody can really begrudge Yorkshire their victory this evening. Notts lost the toss. They were put into bat. They were very quickly on the back foot with Joe Clark, the captain, going in the first over, but only had themselves to blame really for not having somebody just in the top 6 go on and make sure they stayed there and battered deep. Duckett 29, Munsey 28, Haynes 20, Moores 28, all got good starts and were nicely poised really to push on and get a good score, and it was only left really at the end to Pocklington and Howell to get Notts up to 167 for 7. Joe Pocklington played a nice little game, 16 not out, just kept getting Benny Howell back on strike. He hit the ball hard and high on debut to reach 30 before being last out. 167 for 7 was the Notts score, and I think, Kyle, all 3 of us at that point felt it's light.
Yeah, definitely. You feel that they were about 20-30 runs short. A couple of players. Notts needed somebody to go on and play the Johnny Bairstow innings that Yorkshire had and have the starts around them, which we didn't quite get this evening. 169, as I said, 20-30 runs short on what looks like a very, very good wicket. Did a little bit with the new ball, as we saw with Notts, took 2 quick early wickets, but other than that, Yorkshire thoroughly deserved their win. Johnny Bairstow, absolutely crack of an innings.
I suspect by the time the teams play again in July, there'll be very different starting 11s. Not expected to see much more, if anything, more of Ben Duckett. Liam Patterson-White, of course, is away with the Lions. He's going to miss this start, these first few matches, but he'll be a big miss. George Lind, the South Africa, they've signed, not yet arrived, and Yorkshire similarly with a couple of players announced by the website this week on their way here, and it might be 1 or 2 others, but most bases covered. I mean, you can't get off to a better start than that. Go play away from home, first match, and win as you said, with what was it, 3.5 overs to spare, won comfortably.
Yeah, I think they'll be delighted to have got the win on the board with a side that they know is not going to be their strongest. Hassan Ali and Fahim Ashraf are the two players that you're referring to, and also Sam Whiteman to come back into the side. He's a 3-year contract in all formats. Doncaster born, but obviously raised and played his cricket in Australia. So yeah, they look like they could obviously get stronger on paper. That will be encouraging for them, but Yorkshire and T20 cricket really is a curiosity, and so I don't think anybody will be getting carried away after just one win.
No, but it's a tournament where momentum can build confidence, breeds confidence, and if you can get on a bit of a roll. Who do you play on Sunday?
Derbyshire at Headingley, and they do have a decent record against Derbyshire. A terrible record against Derbyshire at Chesterfield. They've lost 8 in a row against Derbyshire at Chesterfield, but they do play pretty well generally against them at home.
Yorkshire supporters, make sure you follow Jonathan on Sunday. What time's that one kick off?
It starts at 3:30. I'll be on with Bumble on Sunday afternoon on the BBC Sport website and app only.
Absolute treat. Thanks for your company and your commentary tonight. Safe travels, and we'll catch up with you in the not too distant future. Kyle, who are you throwing pies at tomorrow? When and where can your supporters see you?
Yeah, we've got Mansfield Hodge Mills at home at Woollerton. It's the Woollerton Beer Festival, so if you are anywhere in that area, don't hesitate to come and watch me bowl a few pies and have a bit of a strop about if they don't go according to plan.
And I'll be at Old Trafford, God willing, on Monday for Notts' next game in the group. It's going to be a long old day. We've got the Blaze playing at 10:30, and then because it's the Lancashire AGM, the much publicised AGM, the fellas don't start until 4 o'clock. So we'll have full coverage of that one on certainly online, and we'll be online because Adam Hassel will be occupying all the BBC Radio Nottingham airwaves, and why not? Because he'll be at Wembley. Looking after his beloved Notts counties. That's right, Adam.
So it's Yorkshire that take the victory here against the Outlaws. They won by 7 wickets. Do stick with us because we will get some post-match reaction from the Outlaws dressing room very, very soon. But it is Yorkshire that win by 7 wickets. Stay with us and we'll get reaction as soon as possible. Okay, so there will be post-match reaction later on this evening. If you follow the Trent Bridge social media channels, you'll be able to get some post-match reaction there. But it is Yorkshire that won by 7 wickets here on Trent Bridge Live. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. We hope to see you next time. A week on Sunday, we will be back for another Vitality Blast double-header here at Trent Bridge. But from everybody on Trent Bridge Live, thank you for your company and enjoy your weekend.